cricket. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick Guerrilla Cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, Guerrilla Cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender,
I don't know how you find it. Go back. Can you see arrow at the top and go there?
Douglas Jardine,
Close the app and restart. It's definitely there.
Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerrilla Cricket.
Good morning, good evening, good dawn, good dusk, wherever you are in the world. It's Guerrilla Cricket, yay! And it's the last of this nonsense shit where they wear pyjama clothing, because tomorrow the real stuff starts. We had a little taste against Zimbabwe, but tomorrow we've got the World Test Championship, and then next week we've got 5 tests against India. Ooh, looking forward to that. But tonight we're finishing off. Can we whitewash the West Indians? Won't be as good as the blackwash in 1976, obviously, because it's a shit form of cricket. But nonetheless, England are 3-0 after the ODIs and 2-0 up in the T20s. We've got a chance to make it 3-0. We're at Southampton tonight. The West Indies won a toss. They've stuck England in. The teams are as follows. England are unchanged, actually, so no change there. And the West Indies have brought in Shimron Hetmeyer for Roston Chase. That's all I'm going to tell you, because you can remember from the other day, and if you can't, it's your own fault. Should have been here. I'm joined.
Oh, that's harsh.
That is harsh. Maybe I'll tell you in a minute. You'll see as they all come out. I'm joined, of course, by Nick.
Hello, mate. Hello, everyone. How you all doing?
Very well, very well, very well. Enjoying the temperatures. It's starting to peak up this afternoon, which is all good. The air temperature's got a little bit humid, but it's nice. And of course, Messi.
Wearing my Shit Gets Wicket t-shirt for the last of the T20s, which seems an appropriate time to be doing it.
You've got it in the West Indian
colours. I have
maroon,
too. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice, very nice. How do we see this going?
Same old?
Hard to look past another England win, isn't it, Bear?
It is. I really did think that the West Indies would win something over here.
Well, here's hoping. I think did they win the third T20I when we were there after we won the first 2?
I thought we lost when we were there. I thought we won the first one because it went down to a decider. It was definitely 2-1. But I think they won the T20s when we were there last time. Didn't
they might well have done.
And I think it was also the same in the ODIs over there, to be honest. But it was in our shit time as ODI players. I like Harry Brook's approach, actually. I like the fact that we have the extra batter.
I like the fact that we got a super chat already.
You lot all let us down on Sunday. We only had one for the entire game.
Super chat.
So lots today, please. Make up for Sunday.
Okay, it's from Ravi Natarajan. He sent us $5. Hello from Los Angeles. Well, I hope you're not.
You're out rioting. Going to see what is it? The National Guard. They got some Marines out now. I hear. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. He says this is Ravi. Not interested in this game. West Indies played like shit. The Aussies will win the World Test Championship. handily. England win versus India. Well, that's getting all your tips in at once, Ravi.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think Australia will win against South Africa, although I'm hoping for South Africa to win.
I like South Africa for the upset. Everyone's dead set on Australia.
Well, I like South Africa for the upset. My head says Australia, my heart says South Africa.
I'm with you, Bear.
Just because they're Australia. Can't be supporting those lot.
Messers.
Well, I mean, logically, Australia should win. I was looking at the two teams today, and I thought they've just got that much more in that team. But you just never know. Out of season, out of the country, different conditions, different ball.
Haven't played. And apparently they're going to play golf for 5 days, so that's nice of them.
Well, they have done a lot of training as well.
Nah, really. I like the idea that they've just been out on the golf course. Anyway, we opening the batting is this man.
Hey there, Jamie Smith. Are you a good keeper or batsman? Either way, all your hopes of getting a game are fucked.
Opening the bowling.
A keel won't appeal in vain. A keel is the real Hussein.
Now, is Jamie Smith going to get runs today, and we're going to go for under for the first wicket?
I think I'm going to leave it until
Are you?
Butler arrives.
Well, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over. I
All right.
really do an over.
Go on, I'll join you, Bear, because I
wicket.
keep losing on these
Oh, God,
Smith
no,
Duckett
I don't
overs.
want to bet £46. And just a fiver, please. Thank you. The usual bet. Kill. Hussein bowls first ball. It's just defended out into the covers. Nice time, but straight to the man. And there is no run. And the other batsman is, of course...
And Duckett.
He is not very tall,
And Duckett.
but sometimes he hits the ball
Hard. And Duckett. And Duckett.
Jamie Smith gets off the mark, clips it wide, just wide enough and mid-on that they can get through for an easy single.
I've got to say, being in the studio makes such a difference listening to the jingles, even though they've got better lately. But broadcasting, I never heard the actual words of a whole lot of that Ben Duckett jingle. It's much, much better when you hear all the little bits and pieces.
Well, yeah, so one thing that Zoom is not perfect at. It has to be said. But hey-ho, they're at the Rose Bowl today. It's a nice ground, I like the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, it's a nice looking ground, isn't it?
Yeah, when we did the World Cup, we were in the hotel at this end because there were so many people doing, obviously, media. So the hotel became like everyone's vantage point. So you basically had a sort of hotel room. That's defended back to the bowler, and there's no run.
Do they look right out onto the pitch?
Yeah, they're right behind
that's-
the square. But everyone else, all the normal TV boards and everything, they were all inside their hotel rooms. And me,
Okay.
just being me, I decided, fuck it, we're going to go and sit on the balcony and do it.
Lovely
It's
stuff.
a nice day. Why the hell do we want to sit inside? So I set us up on the balcony. I think we got on the telly a couple of times. That one is like an arm ball. It's quite quick and there's a bit of drift away from Duckett, but he clips it up too long on, gets himself a single, gets himself off the mark.
There was a great story about, I think Mohammed Abbas had the penthouse suite when he was at Hampshire. And when City went down to play Southampton, they wanted to sort of take it over for Guardiola and he refused to give it up.
Oh, really? Good lad. Why should I?
Yeah, quite right.
Exactly that.
You don't average 19 in the county championship?
No.
Fuck off.
What's this football game? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Hussein, ball 4. It's only gone for 2. Good start. He is quite economical at the start of a game. Comes into bowl round the wicket to Smith. Well, they're acclimatised now, of course. Oh, wow. He does that so often, doesn't he? I kind of think you get used to it in the end. He'll get found out eventually.
That turned a fair bit, actually.
No,
didn't
it doesn't. It just comes in with the arm. He bowls it almost like a swing.
It's
like,
an in-swinger, isn't it?
Yeah, essentially. If you look where the seam
The seam's up, yeah, and it just sort of keeps going off the seam.
Yeah, and because he's bowling around the wicket, it just comes in and in and in.
Good idea for the first over.
Well, it is, but if you're limited to that and you do it in a competition, I think you'll get found out later in the competition. People will figure it out. Well, that's reverse swept over the top of the infield. It'll go out to cover. Pitches, but rolls on in golfing parlance. And it gets 4. So the first over, which looked like it was only going to go for 3, has ended up going for 7. With the first of these for the day. That's a good start by England.
We have greetings from Sudahu, from Kieran Roseblade, from Stephen Kelk. Sudahu saying the Zimbabwe test was some village shit.
But it was just nice to see Test cricket and people in white.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, man. Well, I'm sure you enjoyed it. Having heard what you just told me off air.
Sherry J saying Nicholas Poran has retired. Poran guy. He's doing all right though. He's retired from international cricket. That doesn't mean to say he won't still be picking up a lot of moolah playing T20 leagues.
He's 29.
29, yeah.
That's absurd.
And Clarkson gone too. It's sad for international cricket, isn't it?
It is. They just wanted to take the cash, I guess. Defended. Back to the bowler and there's no run. Who was it? Who's the guy who plays for Namibia?
Is it David Weiser?
Yes. I was reading an article from him last year about.
Yeah, it's hard work.
It is hard work being a T20 mercenary. You're constantly on the road,
And not getting paid half the time for the gigs you do, it seems.
Yes, depending on where you're playing. I mean, I'm sure for the bigger guys they do. Jamie Smith, Holder's first ball is just played out past cover. It's chased down, but they'll come back for 2.
It's a pretty ordinary feeling.
Yeah.
Well, the Sikandar Raza stuff was absolutely mind-blowing, wasn't it?
The way when he went back for a PSL
Yeah.
final? I know, that was mad. Let's have a jingle for the bowler.
Jason Holder. Jason
Jamie Smith drives that pleasantly out to the man in the deep at point, and there is, she's a cover, and there's a single. Nicholas Poran retiring. Did you just not be bothered to? I guess the West Indies just don't pay enough for him to be bothered, and he can make more money in the IPL, SAT20, and the CPL.
Yeah, their contracts aren't going to be hugely competitive.
No.
Are they?
No, but it's sad when these players are seeing international cricket as a sideshow.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, I hope the ICC are taking note that the schedule needs to be sorted out right. And I do think in this day and age, what are these bilateral series really doing?
Nothing at all. Is my view, apart from a little bit of practice, which I guess you've got to have at some point. But that's clipped down to a long leg for a single. I guess for T20s, actually, you don't need international practice because they play everywhere all the time.
But how much are Sky paying for the rights for these games? And the crowd is full at Southampton, so that's what it's there for.
You're right, Messrs. It's lucrative stuff, and I suppose they've got a bit of sort of team cohesion.
Yeah.
Team building stuff to do ahead of the World Cup next year.
I mean, definitely ODIs. I mean, no one plays ODIs anymore except for internationals, do they? Down over the top goes Jamie Smith. One bounce over the boundary. Another 4. Lovely shot. Just plays through the line, goes over the top of mid-on. And that's lovely.
He's a lovely, solid-looking player, isn't he, Jamie Smith?
Yep.
I was stood behind a net while he was netting at Lord's last summer, and the sound of the ball coming off his bat was like a bullet.
Nice. Do like that pleasant sound. He was on to 9 off 7, Duckett 6 off 4. England move on to 15, last ball of this over. And it's pulled. Is anyone out there? There is a man out there, but he doesn't get it out to him. Well, he does on the bounce, but not on the full. And it'll be a single. He'll retain the strike. He moves into double figures. England are 16 for none after 2.
Kieran Roseblade says, do we need to go through the formality of watching the game before declaring a whitewash? Well, the game is here to enable us to be on air with you, Kieran. Afternoon Gorilla, says Matthew Cullen, just gave a presentation in Sheffield at a chemistry conference. Now off for some beers. Well, keep an eye open for Jay Graver.
Yeah, go and look for Jay.
He may well be looking for you.
Yeah, you never know.
Stephen Kelk says, I've got the fear due to the Netherlands versus Nepal game where the Netherlands need 33 runs on 24 balls with 3 wickets in hand. That's going to be a tight one.
Ooh. What happened the other day? There was another game the other day and they got... Or was that... I can't remember. Someone was playing Nepal the other day. Ireland, wasn't it? And they got 330. I don't know what happened at the end of that one, obviously.
Well, that was a useful comment. Joe Sherry wants us to predict the scoreline for India-England.
That one is worked into the leg side and there will be a single. That's a tricky one. Last time it was 2-2 with 1 draw due to the weather.
That's just what I was going to say. 2-2 with a washout Old Trafford.
Yeah, there's an Old Trafford test, isn't
I'm
there?
thinking 3-2 to England.
I'm thinking 4-1 to England. Or 3-1 to England with a washout. I'll stick my head on that one.
3-1.
3-1. I think at home, India's big problem is going to be Bumrah can't bowl all tests.
Yeah.
If he can't. That's, Siraj is good over here. And I'm sure someone else will stand up. I think their batting might be quite brittle and untested in these conditions. Duckett goes over the infield, smashes it out to cow corner, and he gets 4 runs. I'm saying that, and I fear that England... what I do fear is England's bowling not being up to scratch.
Well, it looked as poor as it can in an innings win at Trent Bridge, didn't it?
Yeah, really.
Tongue went pretty poorly in the last England India A game.
You need something quite helpful. I can't even remember. Where's the first test? Because it's not Lord's, is it?
It's Headingley, the first one. Is that right, Messrs?
I had a feeling it was Edgbaston, but you may be right.
Oh, I think it is Edgbaston. Yeah, but not. To be fair, Trent Bridge is a batting paradise normally.
It's a good batting track.
If you start at Headingley and it's overheads on the day of the first innings, it could be trouble.
Ooh, that's
has it
high.
gone up? Has it gone far? Yeah, it's gone far enough. It's plugged though. Duckett came down the track and the bat turned in his hands. There was a man chasing it back towards the boundary. He couldn't. Well, he did catch up with it eventually, but he couldn't catch it, and they got back for a couple, 23 for none. We can't play Shafane Brotherhood's jingle because it got us a little ding the other day.
Oh dear. Leeds first test, then Birmingham, then presumably Lords.
Well, Leeds could be interesting. That could be over pretty quick. Oh, that's a great shot.
Lovely.
It's got 6 runs. Inside at Duckett's just skipped across and then swept Akil Hussain all the way over at long legs. Well, there isn't a man down there, but over the boundary at long leg. It'll be the first of these, and England move on. My over one.
I got it too.
I think I'm going to go for another one.
I'm going to join you on it.
I'm feeling optimistic.
The problem is Duckett always looks absolutely brilliant, and then there's always a stupid shot coming somewhere, and it's just figuring out when it is.
Well, yeah, but you hope he hits enough sixes. It'd probably be it's 24. They're looking at 54 now, so it's 30 runs. No, 20.
25. I quite like it.
Yeah, exactly. Except for they're not actually giving it to him at the moment. The old lock is on. Fuckers over at Betfair. Bet 6365. She makes too much money, that woman. Akil Hussain bowls down the track, comes Duckett, and Hussain tries to shove it wide, but Duckett's got that covered. He's shimmied across as well and lasers it back down the track, past the bowler to the boundary, 4 runs.
It's so often the case, isn't it, where a spinner does all right for 1 over in the power play, but the second over goes for a bundle.
But that's what I mean. He bowls a lot of those balls. You see, that was the same one again. And the thing is, the batsman's going to get used to that. And essentially, all it is a quite slow
swinger. You rarely see him bowling an off break, do you?
No, exactly. And he's a left armer, so against the right-handers, you can understand.
And the other thing is, they're wasting what little shine there is on the ball.
Well, yeah, that too. Well, Duckett's swiftly moved on to 22 off 8. Hussain's coming around the wicket now and still gets splattered into the leg side, but straight at the fielder. Duckett throws his head back in the air. It's the end of the third, and England are 33 for none.
Al Hodge says thoughts on Paran retiring from international cricket. Patient zero for the effects of franchises.
I don't think he's patient zero, actually. There's a fair few have retired reasonably early to take up that.
Sherry J says South Africa will win. Bavuma will score a century.
Ooh, I'd love that, but I've seen him score one century. He hasn't got many. He hasn't got many international centuries in Test cricket.
Two. I think he got a
Jason.
couple recently, didn't he?
Yeah.
Got one against Sri Lanka.
Yeah. Ravi
He got one against
Natarajan
England.
says, just curious, are any grillers getting the winter fuel allowance? Well, you need a pensioner in the household, don't you?
I'm quite angry about that, and I will posit my thoughts on that. I just think, look, everyone's fucking moaned about it, right? And the threshold was way too low at 11,000. And now they put it up to 35 fucking thousand. Smith is facing up. Romario Shepherd is going to come in to bowl. He just strapples that up towards long on, and he will get a single. I'll give you the bowler. It is... Well, it was... You've got a jingle. Where the fuck are you? There you are.
It's all about Romario. It's all about Romario. It's all about Romario. It's all about Romario. Shepherd.
So basically, they're quibbling over fucking 300 quid if you're over 80, 200 if you're under 80, yeah? They're saying if there's two pensioners living in a house with an income of 70 grand, they'll get their 200 quid. All well and good, like, right? Romario Shepherd is in. It's pulled down towards long leg, and there'll be one run. However, if you're a fucking worker in London, and my wife is looking for jobs at the moment, most of them are coming up minimum wage, 24 fucking grand, yeah? And you got kids, a fucking mortgage. All these fuckers are all living, I'm sorry pensioners, but a lot of you are living in paid off mortgages, paid off houses with 3 or 4 fucking bedrooms, and you're complaining about 200 quid. And it's been ramped up to 70 grand a year.
How is the
effectively,
200
both of
quid?
you are still alive. Well, exactly. What the fuck is 200 quid going to do for you? Lasered out towards the extra cover boundary. It's a fucking disgrace.
How is it
Pensioners get
paid?
everything. Cash in a bank, I presume.
Oh.
It's going to be another 4. But it just upsets
2
me.
+ 2 is a member. 2 + 2 is a member.
I'm all for, helping them out, and all that crap, but you can't complain that 12 grand was too low and then suddenly they're going to start giving it to basically couples on 70 grand. They don't need 200 quid. It's a fucking joke.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Fuck.
Inside out again. Doesn't hit that as well as Smith, but he's opened his shoulders and got it over the infield, and it runs out towards the boundary, and they'll get 2.
So there's been electricity subsidies in Australia, but the way they're paid is not in cash. They're just credited direct to your electricity bill. So that, it comes off there.
Pay the company direct for you.
Well, effectively, yeah. Yeah, which makes more sense.
It
'cause
does make
kinda
more
does.
sense than a cash payment.
Well, exactly. All these fuckers, they're just going to go and use it and go on holiday.
Yeah.
This is what they all complain. At least some of them admit it. You watch all these crappy morning shows, which are always on in the background in my house, I have to say. But you get
it's
some,
all coming out now.
you do
man.
get some honest pensioners who ring up and go, yeah, all I see is pensioners out going out for lunch all the fucking time.
Whoa,
and I'm a
fuck.
pensioner. That's walloped. I didn't get my over on it. Still not come up,
I got it.
Oh, did you? You bastard. That one was smashed over cow corner for 6.
Jamie Smith looking fantastic.
Yeah, if he gets going, he does look great.
He really does.
He got out quite cheaply in the last 2 games.
And it's,
Well, certainly the last game.
I suppose, a big game for him, because you'd assume he'd be the one to make way when Salt comes back.
Salt's not... Fuck Salt.
You think Salt's done?
Fuck Salt. No way.
Yeah. I think Smith's established it.
I think Smith's a much better batsman than Salt. Salt's just a fucking biffer. He's got no technique whatsoever. Doesn't move his fucking feet. That
Whoa.
one's gone high.
That's
Gone long enough.
Yeah. Oh.
Not quite,
No.
but it
that was
bounced
longer.
one bounce into the boundary. It's still going to be another 4 runs.
That's a fucking expensive over.
Isn't it?
I'm looking over a 4.
Betty Holford says, "G'day guys, West Indies are playing for pride today. As a Nicholas Puran fan, I'm wishing him well. He made a sterling contribution to West Indies cricket, and I hope he will eventually reverse his decision."
Well, I suppose he's young enough to be able to do that, isn't he? At 29.
Yeah, could well do. Stephen Kelk says, "Duckett double century coming."
If he does that in 20 overs, that'd be fucking impressive.
Steve Rousseau says, "Come on, Windies, I'm tired of losing my bet." Sidhu says, "In fairness to Nick Puran, he's put in a lot more to the West Indies compared to some former retirements." That's certainly true. And Sherry J says, "Pride has left West Indies cricket decades ago. They're a bunch of mercenaries showcasing their talent so as to get selected in a franchise." Yeah, let's not be too judgmental. They're playing whatever cricket they can get, basically.
Well, yeah, I finally got over 76. Oh, and he's going to get caught. No, he's not. He's going to get 6. Smashed over square leg. Hit that flat. In fact, I'm going to give it the correct jingle, which I think is pretty much one of these.
Smack it in the air, beyond the boundary. Smack it in the air.
New bowler too.
Smaximum.
Oh, yeah. It is...
Alzari Joseph. Alzari Joseph. Alzari Joseph.
That goes for 6 off his first ball. So the run rate is now 13.68 currently. That's smashed out to the man on the ring at cover. And there is no run. 28 off 14 for Jamie Smith. 29 off 12 for Duckett.
And they haven't looked like they've been going all guns blazing, haven't they? It's been proper cricket shots throughout.
Well, you do wonder whether... Well, this is it. The question here is for the West Indies, are they playing for pride or do they give a shit and do their heads go down really quickly and end up chasing 240 and falling well short?
Small boundaries looks like it could be a big one.
Well, yeah. Well, quite big boundaries actually. They probably bought them in miles. That's cut by Duckett. Out to the point boundary. It's going to be 4 more. Jace, can you let in Will? That would be lovely, thank you. We got 1 more over after this, and then we're having a little switcheroo.
Yeah, that was beautifully threaded, wasn't it, between point and cover?
It was indeed. Things I forgot to do at the beginning of the game.
Kieran Roseplace going on about Duckett bowling. Can't you be happy with the fact he's a bloody good batter? Don't let's waste time talking about any other possibilities, because let's face it, he's not a great fielder and he's a shit bowler. So just be happy there's a good,
flat
good
tap. Oh, land short of the man at the mid wicket. Miss hit there. There is no run. Sorry.
Oh, we have another 2 super chats.
Ooh, let me play a jingle. That was the end of the over, wasn't it, as well?
No, we've got a couple to come.
Super chat.
Ravi Natarajan says, sends us $5, says, "Big day in America this Saturday, June the 14th. Huge military parade in DC. Don't miss it."
Was that live? Was that Duckett? Was that a reverse
It was
sweep, or
indeed.
was
It was a little ramp.
ramp round the corner. Man, you've got to keep up with all this shit. Another 4 runs.
Bears under the pump.
It's me,
Alzari's under the
Senshi.
pump.
It's me, Senshi.
Kieran Roseblade sent us €2 and says, "My contribution is too small and not often enough, but we appreciate whatever we can get." And Al Hodge is sending us a £5, £5. Says, "Is the bear going over again?"
I did go over again, yeah. I finally got it in. What's today? Did I not set up a competition for today?
You did. I saw it on the thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Third.
165 quid, was it?
Okay. Drilled back down the ground. It's going to be 4 more. I think someone stuck a boot out.
I think Joseph got a hand to it. Would have been a hell of a caught and bowled. But it's another big over, 18 from it.
Jesus Christ. And we're changing over.
Are we changing over? That
Yeah.
5 done? Okay.
I've done the super chats, but there's a lot of chat been going on in between which I haven't got to. I'm sorry, but just proves the worth of a super chat.
Well, it does indeed. I was just trying to get... who's on now? I'm in here. Jason, you're in here. Tuesday.
Hello.
And Will. No,
It's
it's
me.
Nick, Jason, and Will. I'm out. Jace, you're in here.
As we change over, we've got one left of the power play. They've raced on to 69 already. Jason is getting into the chair next to me on the socials. And Will, hello Will.
All right, Nick.
How you
All right,
doing,
Dave?
mate?
I'm good. I have returned
Great to see you.
successfully from the brain zapping.
Excellent, and still looking in fine health.
Yeah, well, they do it with like fancy, like magnets or some shit.
As Jason Holder's back into the attack, and he's driven down the ground by Smith for another boundary. They keep coming. This is punishment, isn't it, Jace?
It's brutal at the moment. Hang on a minute. So that was one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A lovely flashing on drive from Jamie Smith takes him to 32. England are already 73 with 5 balls of the power play to go, and they've got to be looking at well in excess of 200. This time it's flicked out into the leg side. There is a man on the fence, so it'll just be 1. Been a chastening tour for the West Indies, this.
Yes. Don't know what Will thinks, but my thought is it really much of a surprise, sadly?
Unfortunately, not. But that makes me incredibly sad because the West Indies, to my mind, are a powerhouse and should always be a powerhouse. But with franchise cricket and everything, they have players who are called elsewhere, I guess, because cash is cash.
This time it's short from Holder, and Duckett flays it into the offside. It's going to be another boundary. The runs keep on coming.
The number of the day.
Definitely.
Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
Might even be 6 soon.
Yeah, I agree. It's really sad, Will. And I mean, you see the West Indies Globetrotters, some of these guys doing really well in franchise cricket. You see Romario Shepherd hitting a 14-ball 50 in the IPL, and you think maybe the Windies can come together and produce something, but they always seem to be less than the sum of their parts. And, well, here's hoping that a resurgence is just around the corner, another magical moment like we got from Shamar Joseph at the MCG. As Holder comes around the wicket to Duckett now, it's a full toss, but he gets away with it. Duckett can't quite dig it out, and it just rolls down to Alzari at short extra cover.
I think Holder is like kind of case in point. I love him. He's so cool, and he's such a badass, and he's like a proper kind of power cricketer. But he, I don't know, he doesn't seem to have been able to kind of drag the entire team along with him, you know.
Yeah, it's you wonder where they go from here, and test opportunities are fewer and far between. He's short again. This time it's played over third man by Duckett. It's another boundary. We're 82, and there's still a ball of the power play remaining. So Duckett did really well there. He gave himself some room and just carved it over short third. Looks a very good batting pitch, this.
Very nicely manufactured down to third man as well. I mean, that was coming in, and he did manage to lean just far enough out of the way to get it up and over the man on the 45.
Absolutely, Jason. In terms of line, it was well outside leg stump, and he still managed to make the room and get the elevation. This time he works a quick single, so that'll end the power play. That brings up Duckett's 50. England at 83 for none after 6.
We've got another one of these.
Super chat cash, super chat cash, super chat cash.
Richard Milgate sends £5 €25 saying, Sunday I can't watch the game. As a Hampshire fan, what's the ground looking like? Is it full?
I'd say the stands are speckled rather than full.
It's a lovely ground,
Yeah.
having been there last year. It was a fantastic day, fantastic ground. I was very impressed with it. Unfortunately, the only problem with it is the public transport access.
And that's a bit harsh. It must be 3/4 full, would we say?
Yeah. Anyway, Bears.
It is hard to get to, though.
Yeah, there's 2 buses, and they're not particularly frequent. So.
And is it miles out of Southampton?
It's right on the
It's
outskirts.
nearer Eastleigh than Southampton,
Yeah,
I'd say.
it's kind of equidistant between Southampton Parkway and Southampton City Centre in terms of train access, and it's right out by the M27. So it's not quite easy to get to by car, but the car parking is an issue.
So the field spreads and Gudakesh Moti comes into the attack. Duckett just drops that ball down to long on to start for a single.
I should jingle him up in between balls if I can. Where are we?
So 21 balls for Duckett's 51. He's had 8 fours and a couple of sixes, striking at 2-4-2, looking really, really good. As is the right-handed Jamie Smith.
It's incredible with Duckett. I just sort of forget that he had that period.
Yeah, he was so good when he was young, as this time Smith works into the leg side. There's just one there.
Well, he had a reasonable summer, and then he went to Bangladesh and he got found out by Mahdi Hassan.
Yeah, and Ashwin as well when he was in India. He was just getting worked over by the off-spinners, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think he's always been a talented player. This time Duckett sweeps out into the leg side. They might come back for a second, but no, they're going to be wise and just keep it to a single. I think there was a sense in his early days that he was a bit of a liability. The euphemism untamed was used quite a lot. He poured a pint over Jimmy Anderson, and
which is stupid.
But I think
he also had a technical flaw where he had a gate which people bowled through quite a lot.
Yeah, wider from Moti this time, but he's turned into a fantastic player of spin, and against pace as well, the way he can sort of manufacture width, and he's unorthodox, loves the cuts and pulls. I think he's really, really talented, and I think we're going to see a lot more of him in all 3 formats over the next couple of years. As this time it's onto the pads from Moti. It's a big swing from Smith into the leg side, and it will beat the boundary for 6.
He's working me hard, the Smith lad.
Yeah, anyone who's on jingles, the jingles are coming as fast as the runs. And these have all been classical shots from Jamie Smith. That was beautifully played over wide, long on, cleared the boundary by a good 6 feet.
The one thing you notice...
He's a bit good, isn't he?
He is a bit good. I think he could do really well in Australia with the kind of technique he's got.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the England management think he's too good to keep long term and might push him up the order a bit in Test cricket.
Lots of chat after Bears rant about fuel payment. Eric J says, still haven't got over Thatcher the milk snatcher. Kieran Roseberry says, it's hard for those boomer pensioners. How are they meant to heat their 6-bed homes with huge gods and no mortgage now they're effed off everyone else coming after them? Have a bit of compassion, guys. And Eric J says, chambermaids and butlers don't come cheap. Linux Slayer says, Joseph shouldn't be too disappointed after that over. You can see the 10 runs fewer than Anderson did in a test over. And Sidhu says, the ground looks full, Richard. And Kieran Roseberry says, Sidhu says he also thinks it's going to be a 300 total. Well, one can hope.
Well, I think they're certainly looking up towards 240 plus, aren't they? Romario Shepherd's going to continue. He doesn't bowl. He plays as a specialist batter in the IPL, so it's always interesting seeing him bowling.
Hasn't he got a really weird action?
He just
one of those kind of like
it's quite.
I don't know.
It's like half bent arm.
Sort of, and a little bit wider.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if he can have any joy here. He's starting over the wicket to Duckett, and it's on the pads. Duckett flicks it out to the leg side, straight to the man at deep backward square, so that'll just be 1. The run rate's still up a shade under 13, so West Indies need wickets to pull this back.
I'll try and get some more messages in. Pirate Badger says, ahoy old salts and sea dogs.
Ahoy.
Lockie 6 says it's pretty healthy run rate so far. Yes, but England have a habit of collapsing in a heap after the opening batsmen get out.
It can happen, Jace,
Yeah.
but you'd think Buttler at 3 gives them a bit more stability.
He's got a licence to tee off now, hasn't he?
Shepherd stays over the wicket to Smith. It's pulled, but it's over mid-on, and it's 6 again. This is remarkable batting from Jamie Smith.
2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row.
And I also forgot in the rush of runs this one.
Don't stop just 'cause you got to 50. Don't stop, treat it as a start. You can use this to get a better score. The first 50's done.
And that's really well bowled from Shepherd. It's wide, just inside the wide line, and he gets it through for a rare dot ball.
Yes, and all that.
It's interesting. He's got one of those kind of beach cricket type actions. You know how Meninga had that sort of wider,
Very
kind of slingy
wide
action.
I'm not sure it's beach
And-
cricket per se, more corridor cricket. Or no.
Well, Malingaland
In
is on the
Pakistan.
beach. I heard Bumrah is a corridor man. Wow, that time Smith's pumped it over long on again. It's another 6. It's onto the pod. 100 is up, and this is pure punishment for the West Indies. So that is Jamie Smith's first 50 in T20 eyes. He has looked $1 million and very happy to see him bring it up. I think it was a bit of a gimme from Shepherd, a slot ball on middle and leg, but you can only put away what's put in front of you, and he's got 2 to bowl, and he might be longing towards being back in the field because he's gone for 31 off his first 10.
You can read more about.
This time it's wide and it's short and it's smashed again by Smith. This time he's gone over cover, he's got enough on it, it's into the stands, it's another 6. Jace is getting a real workout.
I can't get him in the car fast enough at this rate. Ridiculous.
Well, that one's been caught in the crowd by a rather rotund man. He's high-fiving his mates. I think he might have caught it one-handed. He's doing a little jig now. But that was just flat-batted.
He's not even got hit that at the bottom of the bat. It's halfway up the bat, that.
Wow.
It's an everything must go kind of day. And
This is a basement sale, isn't it, for the West Indies?
it sure is. Oh, and that man was very lucky. He got a ricochet off his mate. His mate did the hard work, popped it up, and he took the glory. He's celebrating as well. He should. This time it's a wide half volley. Oh, and it almost straight to Hetmeyer, extra cover, but it goes through his hands. Nothing's going right for the Windies after 8 overs. England moved to what? 113 for none. They're going at 14s. This could be a very long night for the West Indies fans.
Yeah.
The pimps in the crib, ma. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
That wasn't hot, that was smoking.
Well, it was poor from Shimon Hetmeyer. I think you've got to say he should have clung on to that. Got 2 hands to it right in front of his face.
Yep, and we've got another one of these.
Super chat cash, super chat cash.
They're coming almost as
super
fast
chat
as the runs.
Philip Shaw sends us €5.99 saying, my super cash really about John's cash. His Migglefit gets as famous as his songs. Who misses, I think. Yeah. And let's see what else we've got.
As Moti is going to continue over the wicket to Duckett, he just bunts it into the leg side. They're going to come back for 2. That's really good running. It was just sort of squirted off the bat. And there's no one in the ring on that leg side, so they were able to come back quickly for 2. Duckett moves to 55. He's been overtaken by Smith, who's moved to 60 off 25. They're both absolutely flying.
Lockie 6 says, it takes a village to raise a Duckett. He is the beloved son of us all. Joseph Isaac says, it's so sad for West Indies cricket for losing Pooran at this time when our cricket is going through a crisis.
This time he gets out and sweeps the full toss, and they'll get back for another scampered 2. So 4 off the first 2 of Moti's second over. He has been the most economical of the Windies bowlers so far, just 13 off his 8, but no one's being spared.
I thought you meant 8 overs for a second then. I was like, what?
I'm dealing in balls, Will.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I was about to place a bet on England getting over 233, but I see it's just rocketed up to 249. That's a bit rich for me, but I think they could well go past it.
I think they probably will.
As this time it's in the slot from Moti. Duckett pumps it down to the man at long on, who's going to come round and cut it up off Romario Shepherd, but they will get back for another couple.
That's nice technique from Romario. Gets a slide in early, keeps his feet away from the sponge. He knows there's a man coming in to clean up after he's palmed the ball in his general direction.
Yeah, decent bit of work.
Yeah.
And it's these sort of situations where you need the fielders to do everything they can, right, just to get a bit of momentum back onto your side. This time it's wide. Duckett sweeps it from well outside the off stump. I think that'll just be 1 out to Shafane Rutherford.
Being tight in the field can really kind of swing it back in your own favour, you know, and just kind of get the belief.
Yeah, it just gets the spirits up, doesn't it, Will? And you feel like you've got something in the game. You've got a little something to cling on to, which helps when the bowlers are getting pumped to all corners.
It's standard
one of
setting
those weird
little targets
things
for yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed, Jace.
Yeah.
Moti comes round the wicket to Smith. It's short, and that is absolutely hammered again. I think he's got all of it, and it's going to be long enough. No, it's not. It's caught by Shimron Hetmar at cow corner, right on the fence. So the stand is finally broken. Jamie Smith goes for 60, and the West Indies have a wicket.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at? Oh! Batter, batter, batter. Batter, batter, batter. Batter, batter, batter. On your bike, mate.
Well, have to say it. Jamie Smith is starting to get a trend of getting 50 and out. But it does give me the opportunity to catch up on some messages whilst the next batsman comes.
And he's played a great knock there, 60 off 26.
Kieran Redford says, Duckett is irrepressible. He has to bowl. Going like a train, running on coal. Let him turn his own arm over. Not for a spell, just for an over. He takes some wickets, like some fish, a school, a shoal. He's a poet and he doesn't know it. He's running on coal, cooking on gas, says Stephen Kelk. And Duckett is the Clint Eastwood of English cricket, says Lockie 6. Stephen Kelk says, Jamie Smith also was a bowler apparently. Get in the queue.
Bowling is the greatest bit of cricket.
Suter who says, Shepherd is what happens when your shoulders are too big and neck too stiff to bowl good technique. You end up power shouldering to get speed up and fall over. Well, yes, we seem to remember a certain Chris Tremlett was looked like He-Man because he bulked up because he went to the gym too much. He lost all his flexibility and couldn't bowl quick anymore. Anyway, with that, we have a new batsman to the crease, and we'll chicken him up in 2 seconds, I believe, because I didn't see him, but I assume it's this guy.
It is indeed.
Fire ain't no loss, 'cause we found someone Suttler. Okay, he can't spell Joss, but he also can't spell Buttler. Joss Buttler.
Well, it
Just
feels
because he is Joss Buttler.
dubious reward getting a wicket and Buttler coming to the crease, and he's off the mark with a single.
Chris Tremblett did his shoulders in, didn't he? Because he bulked up so much.
Yeah, he turned into an absolute mountain of a man.
He did.
Yeah, but like an upside down triangle mountain.
Yes, exactly that. He would have had the perfect Olympic swimmer's physique.
Yeah,
Apart from the fact he
but
bulked up,
unfortunately
perhaps even
he
a bit too
wasn't.
much for that.
Oh, and that is over bowled without me even realising it, so Buttler will keep the strike.
George McPherson says 200 plus on the cards for England. What a start from the guys. What? No negative comments, George?
Well, I think 200's well in the rearview mirror, isn't it? If they
And Sidhu says, shit gets a wicket. Yes, we know. We've got a T-shirt that says that.
yeah, we need messes on air.
Buy our merch. Subscribe to our Patreon. Fund us.
Daz Reynolds somewhat tongue-in-cheek says, who do England play tomorrow in the test match? Well, yes, it's a test match in England, but it's not. England are not participating.
As Alzari's back into the attack, he starts with a short one on leg stump that Buttler works away to deep backward square for one. Can I get anyone picking South Africa for tomorrow, Will, Jace?
Yeah, I like South Africa. I'd like them to win, but I'm not
I don't
convinced they
fancy them
will.
for it.
They would be the everyone's second team favourite to win.
I don't fancy them either, but I think they're being written off. I think Rabada and Janssen is really potent new ball pairing, and I'm excited to see if they get in cloudy morning, new ball. I'd love to see them rip through that Australian top order.
To me, it's all about their batting. Is their batting going to hold up against the classic four-pronged attack of Australia?
And it's a big ask, and they're fairly unproven, but I really like both Rickleton and Stubbs. I've been hearing that Wian Mulder might bat at 3, which seems unusual, but it's going to be fascinating. It's a compelling one in prospect. As Joseph stays over the wicket to Duckett, it's wide, and he just flat bats it out to the man on the offside fence just for a single.
I mean, I think... Australia's weird for me because I hate them because they're Australia, but also
but they're good and they take it seriously.
They're really good, and there are some really likeable people in their team. You know, like I think Gaz is just a really lovely bloke. I hate him because he's taken nearly 600 Test wickets, and he's a bloody good spinner. But
as Joseph goes short to Buttler, who just fends it off into the leg side, and they get a single. Yeah, I found the Test very humanising, that documentary, especially for someone like Lyon. You sort of see that he's a really nice bloke away from the field.
Yeah, I mean,
I think his stint in Lancashire didn't do him any harm either.
Yeah, and
and also Labuschagne prepared to go to an unfancy county like Glamorgan.
Yeah, even Cam Green going to Gloucestershire. They put in the work, right? And I'm a huge fan of Travis Head. I think it's hard not to like that guy.
And also, Pat Cummins is like pretty much one of the sweetest people on the planet, it seems.
As Alzari's over the wicket to Duckett's wide, it's flat batted again, straight out to the man at deep backward point for one. So a nice sedate over for the West Indies.
That's a definite plan from Alzari to bowl wide into the sort of the tram lines and try and make Duckett stretch for it.
And Duckett showing decent restraint, not really lashing at them, but happy to just work the single. No, it's definitely a more likeable Australia vintage than the old McGrath, Hayden, Langer, Ponting, that lot.
Border.
Yeah. Also, the thing that makes me really like Lyon is that he's done loads for disability cricket.
Has he, Will? That's good to hear. Wow, that time Buttler has absolutely hammered that. It's gone a mile up into the sky. It's gone into the stands behind deep backward square, and it's another 6 for England.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if this is true, but I believe he basically funded.
We'll have a change.
He funded most of the Aussies getting to the World Cup.
Wow, that's amazing. And I mean, incredible scenes a couple of years ago, seeing him hobble out to bat at Lords.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Like,
I mean,
he's a
anyone who loves cricket can't
cool, you know?
not enjoy that.
But I kind of hate it because it's like, why'd you have to be an Aussie? You're like a really lovely bloke and really fucking good at what you do.
I love seeing English people squirm about liking Aussies.
There's always something great about a groundsman turned cricketer as well, isn't there? That's a very compelling narrative.
Or
for me.
even a cricketer turned groundsman, aka Andy Roberts. Who
Right.
produces one of the flattest pitches known to Christendom.
Last ball of the first 10. Alzari is marshalling his field. The man at mid-on's going back to long on. We're due for a change in here. Messers has sat down next to me. I think Bear's coming back as well. He's loitering in the distance. Alzari to Buttler, who's raced to 9 off 4. He looks for the scoop. He doesn't quite get it where he wants to go, but it'll go down to third man. 1 bounce for 135 for 1 after 10. England are absolutely flying. Windies have got a lot of work to do.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And we're now going through the comedy change, where everybody
I'll love you and leave
fucks
you.
around a bit. Thanks, Will. Good to see you back, mate.
Cheers, Messi.
Glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Well, it's been
Life in the old dog yet. I'll see you soon.
See ya.
It's been all crash bang wallop so far, and no, there's seems to be no respite for any of the West Windies players.
No, and maybe no respite for us too, because Kieran Roseblade pointed out that the middle commentator, who was then Nick, just said everyone likes a bit of head.
Well, you know.
Well, that should wake up one of our regular. Wake up one of our regular messages.
Lockie6 says, Kieran, watching it doesn't necessarily mean that we like it. Zudahu says, face it, lads, India and England have taken the mantle of cricket dickheads. Kieran says, Suda, I think England get that award outside of the world of cricket also.
Cricket dickheads, I would have thought the BCCI is, though, the villain, pantomime villain.
Mr. Rowlight says, Messi's the only nice Australian. Where were you born, Messi? I was born in Eastbourne in Sussex.
There you go.
I will be going to Lord's tomorrow for the first competitive match I've been to at Lord's, I think, since 1963 in September, when I saw Sussex win their first ever piece of silverware.
Was that the first ever one-day cup?
One-day cup final. Sussex made, I think it was 165 off 60.2 overs, which was how one-day cricket worked in those days. And they won because Worcester could only make something like 151 in their 63.2 overs before they were all out.
That's terrible.
Yeah. It's extraordinary to think of now, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Pat Cummins is a gentleman and an ambassador for the game, says Stephen Kelk. I agree with that. He said in an interview that he's not worried about the frontline bowlers when England next tour, but the all-rounders.
Well, what, Australian all-rounders?
I was wondering about English all-rounders.
I'm not sure we have many.
Root and Stokes are 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, a Root you could class as an all-rounder.
Got 50 test wickets, you've got to be an all-rounder.
Yeah, well, won't do a lot of bowling in Australia, you wouldn't have thought.
You shouldn't do a lot of bowling.
Andreas Rousseau says, watch West Indies chases with an over to spare, 235 for 9.
Well, if they get a start, this pitch looks very true, and there's absolutely nothing doing for the ball, I don't think. And no, that is very possible. They do like hitting sixes, the West Indians. The reason why they've won the T20 World Cup quite often is because they hit more sixes than anybody else.
Stokes missed the last 2 away Ashes. 1 through injury and 1 through when he had the fight. He hasn't played in Australia for... Yeah,
We're going to have Hussain to return. He's got 0 for 24 off his 2 overs so far. He's going to be bowling to Duckett, who's surveying the field as he gets down over the crease, over the wicket by Hussain, walks up and then punches it off the back foot by Duckett, but there's a ring of fielders now in for the spinner on the offside, and there is no run there.
England could quite happily take a maiden here, couldn't they, and still be fucking flying.
Well, they can afford to take a 1 or 4 over, 4 runs and over from this, with 2 dots in it. Shorter, Duckett swipes that across the line down to long on. Ambles down to the other end, moves to 63, into 136 for 1. Didn't really get hold of that, it kind of smothered it.
Yeah, he does that quite often. But hey, he scored 63 or 31. I don't think we can complain a lot, really.
And I presume Alzari's going to go over the wicket now. Around the wicket now to Buttler, who looks at the bottom of his bat, and hopefully he's not going to hit it there.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Because that's normally when it goes straight up in the air.
3 out on the leg side. Cow, square, and long on.
Yeah, and no one in close. No mid wicket for the Bear. And that is exactly where the ball goes. It's just dinked into the leg side, and Buttler just trots very slowly down to the other end.
Yeah.
Almost like he's slightly constipated.
Is that how you trot when you're constipated?
Can't hear you.
Is that how you trot when you're constipated, Joe?
It's a kind of short leg shuffle because you don't want to open your legs up too much.
No.
Then Hussain has that slapped very nicely. That's the one where Duckett has connected with that. Out to deep mid wicket. One bounce. Fielder tries hard but just can't quite stop it from going over the rope for yet another boundary.
It was a shit ball.
Hussain looked like he put a little bit of extra rip on that because he did grab and turned very slightly, but just sat up and made it slightly easier to hit.
Yeah, it's a bit too short. That's what he's got to learn, actually, into stock deliveries, because he relies too much on that.
Anyway, here he is again. That's Duckett, so it's of course swept if it's pitched up. Down to deep square. Easy single out to the man there. England are 1-4-2 for 1 now. 1 ball of the over to go. Have you got how many overs have you put on? What's your latest over?
I've got 5 overs. I got the first 3. I missed the last one. But if I get another 4 runs, I think I got over 145 and a half. So 146, and I get another one.
Last ball. Butler's gone down the wicket and hit through it, and that is just enough for the despairing fielder at deep long on mid wicket area, and that's gone for 6. England are motoring at 148 for 1.
We're going to go again. I'm going to go again. Oh, I'm over again, mate.
He can't help himself. Will Reynolds says Stokes won't be an all-rounder much longer.
2,
Sorry.
4, 6.
He'll be an all-rounder in Australia
Till he breaks down.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he was England's best bowler in the first innings against Zimbabwe, without a doubt.
He was most experienced by a long shot, though, wasn't
Leah
he?
is suggesting Duckett as an all-rounder, as was, of course, Stephen Kelk, who reckon he got one under the radar. No, I just ignored it, Stephen. I should make it clear, I'm only mentioning any mention of Duckett as a bowler if there is a super chat attached in the future.
It's worn thin with Messi.
Yeah, very, very thin. Stokes will try. Getting wickets against Village Zimbabwe has assured it, says Sudahu. And Kieran Roseblade says, to be honest, Aussies aren't that bad if you can overlook the racism, the mullets, the piss they call beer, the same amount of culture as the yogurt, the barbecue in any weather, misuse of thongs, etc. Well, the same could be said of the English too.
It's exactly the point I was just about to make. It's going to be Shafane Rutherford, who doesn't often bowl. He bowls a wide, full ball, slashed out through the cover area to, I think there's Romario Shepherd out there by Duckett. He moves to 69, and they're very bright, those cricket boots.
Nice shade of pink.
At least they're not gold.
Yes. He used to have gold boots. Dwayne Bravo used to have gold boots, didn't he?
He did.
As did, I think, Chris Gale as well, maybe?
Yes, I'm fairly sure Gale did. Buttler facing up to Rutherford. And that's going to be a horrible wide. He's pulled that down, and that's going away. And the wide is signalled.
Isn't that the first wide of the day?
I think it is. I can't remember seeing that.
Considering the amount we've had in the last 2 games, that's quite astonishing, actually.
Well, it's only astonishing because they've bowled closer to the stump. They've all been hit further.
Well, yeah.
And that's, saved a wide by Buttler leaning out beyond the advisory line and just about getting the bat on that. Takes a single out to deep cover.
Yes, it was the first wide.
Wow. And that would have been the second. But as you say, Q ended that, didn't he? In the end?
It's just instinctive. He couldn't not play the shot. That's a better ball by Rutherford, angling across Duckett, who chops that down to third man. Takes the single on offer. He moves to 70.
35, that's pretty good going. Butler's 21 off 8.
Yeah.
It's just kind of working out, isn't it? I mean, Brooks had a sort of
charmed life.
golden charmed start, hasn't he? Yeah. Everything he's tried has worked.
Almost everything. That's a bit of a hoik by Buttler, who's just laid back on the back foot and tried to power that with hand-eye coordination. It's gone down to long on. Didn't really time that. It was more of a smash than a classically timed shot. Bear, you're on a cider.
Yeah.
You're going to be converted in a minute.
Well, this is quite tasty, actually. It's not sweet as some.
Yeah, it makes a difference when it's not too sweet.
Yeah. Anyway, 2 balls to come. Rutherford in. Good ball on off stump. Flayed by Duckett to extra cover on the boundary. All on the floor. Another single. This has been, despite the 2 wides, pretty good over by Rutherford. He's kept his ball up in general. And he's bowling to a plan, to a field.
Philip Shaw's determined to keep our standards down to the level expected of us. He says, what did the constipated mathematician do? He worked it out with a pencil.
Oh. Yes, that's a very old joke.
That's nasty. The visual image that goes along with that is not pleasant.
Right. Last ball, the 12th over. And I think that might be out. He's toe-ended that. How far is that going to go? It's going to be caught by... Is that Akil Hussain or...
Hetmeyer.
Shimon Hetmeyer. Out in a deep cover, running round towards extra cover. Buttler has perished by the sword.
Damn.
Mr. You
Batter, batter, batter. Batter, batter, batter. Batter, batter, batter. On your point, mate.
Mr. Rollard asked me how old I was when I was sent to the penal colony and what did I do. I was 19 when I went on a 2-year working holiday by ship to Australia.
By ship in those days.
Yeah. And I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, bear in mind, no internet, no phone calls. Encyclopedia Britannica was about...
What was the population of Australia, though, when you went out there?
About 12 million.
So not a lot.
So it's more than double since I've been
Were they still doing £1 poms when you went out there?
£10 poms. Yeah, a lot of people on my ship were £10 poms.
My parents were going to be £10 poms, except for my eldest brother was Downs.
Oh.
And so he wouldn't be accepted.
Yeah, they were very...
And I think my mum kicked up a stink. I thought, I can't be Australian.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to see Gurikesh Moti, as that was the last ball of the...
imagine Bear being Australian.
Yeah, that'd be frightening.
Fucking hell.
Well, it's an island. You don't get bears on the island. Over the wicket to Buttler. That's clipped out very neatly towards deep square, but they can't get more than a single. All having a bit quick there. As we watch the dismissal of Buttler, who knew pretty much the moment he hit it that was not the right shot for that ball.
Yeah, it needs to be kind of square already, doesn't
But it does bring this man on to face.
Harry Brook is the future. Unless he bats the way Simon Kerrigan bowls.
Harry Brook is very much the present as Moti comes in, and that is worked first ball into the leg side, down through mid-wicket. Takes a single on offer. England move to 156 for 2.
Try another over.
Lockie 6 says, I love living in Australia and have nothing bad to say about the morons whose utes and crassness litter the otherwise beautiful landscape.
Oh, that's a horrible ball by Moti. It's a high-ish full toss on off stump, which is
Gets away with it.
swatted by Duckett, but he swats it straight to a boundary fielder.
Could it be a no ball?
I think it's just a bit too low for that.
No, way too low for that. Duckett's smaller. Whereabouts do you live, Lockie? I think I'm sure I've asked this before. He lives in Melbourne, doesn't he? He's another Melburnian, I think.
Arm ball by Moti that goes on and tries to cramp Brooke, but he works it down to long on. Amble's a single.
So where do we think England get? 240?
7 overs.
I reckon 250.
Close to 250. Depends on how many people die on their swords for very little. Good Yorker by Moti. He's angled that in, tucked up Duckett. He's squirted it almost nutmeg style to square leg, through his legs to square leg, and that is a single.
Bear in mind, Bethel is coming in, and if he continues the form he had on Sunday...
well, he can be brilliant or useless.
Yeah, well, if he's useless, he'll get out quickly.
Well, we've got Bethel,
he
Jackson,
won't fuck around today, I don't think.
And Dawson.
And Dawson, yeah.
Short. Brooke lays back and cuts that, but that's straight to the backward point. That concludes the 13th over, and England are 159 for 2.
Windy Fanatic says, what the hell is going on? I'm tired of this damn humiliation. Please ask the West Indies to get out of town and not return to the Caribbean either. Mayank says, hello all. England on fire again.
Yep.
Indeed they are, Mayank. Lockie says 300 maybe.
No.
Reynolds says, for no apparent reason, Sparta. Where did that come from, Will?
Yeah, what's going on, Will?
Mike says cider is better than beer. And Stephen Kelk says Ben Duckett and Joss Buttler have the same number of letters, but Duckett's name is slightly more to the right on the screen. What does that mean? Absolutely fuck all.
Shafane Rutherford is going to continue. 1 for 6 off his first over. That's hit quite hard to extra cover, but stopped by... who was that? Just missed it as a...
Does this mean Alzari Joseph can't come back and bowl? Or is he on the pitch? Did he get injured when he went for that catch?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen it. He got a fairly full hand on it. That's a good ball by Rutherford. That's short and chopped away nicely by Duckett to, I think that's Rodman Powell out there.
Is it Rodman Powell or Evan Lewis? One of the other.
It's Evan Lewis. But he's had to dive and scramble for that, and it allows a second run as a result.
It bowled a little bit as it got out to him. It was a reasonably good stop. But he just kind of fell on it and it rolled under his body and he didn't know where it had gone.
And in the meantime, Rutherford has done a Mark Wood at the far end. Short and rising and chopped down on. And poor old Lewis has another 20-yard sprint and a despairing dive. But unfortunately can't palm it away to the other fielder coming in from the other end. And that is a boundary.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
Yeah, unfortunately it bobbled just as he got there, didn't it? And it bobbled onto the top of his palm as he was trying to swat it back in, and then...
Yeah, but no fast bowler in particular loves a consecutive 20-yard sprints to stop a ball. Anyway, here comes Rutherford again. And I think Duckett has outfoxed it. Oh, he's got away with that.
It was going to be a wide anyway, I think. It would have been a wide if it had missed it and he was standing in his
but
crease.
Duckett, to the crease, went outside off stump. Rutherford seen that and chucked it down the leg side. And Duckett's done his best to try and catch up with it and scoop it over the keeper.
It was a long way down leg side, though. Exactly that. He saw it. He chucked it even further down the leg side.
But yes, even if he's standing there, that's equally bad outside the off stump, and that's another wide. The wheels are coming off a little bit here because of Duckett's manipulation of the crease.
Well, it took 11 overs before we had a wide, so
yeah,
it's pretty good going considering the last two games, both sides have been very guilty of bowling an inordinate amount of wides.
Windy Fanatic says the win probability for England is currently showing 89.5%. I think it's actually 200%.
That's right on the edge of the advisory line. Flayed up and over point to point on the boundary. Duckett takes a single, moves to 81.
Well, the bookies have, they had it 8-1. West Indies are 12-1 at the bookies.
That's quite a long way in a 2-horse race.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's certainly got the biffers to do it.
Yeah.
You just kind of think it probably won't happen.
And we should watch the speeds of Shafane Rutherford, who's operating in the sort of late 60s, early 70s. That's stood tall by Brooke, and he's just guided that with exquisite timing down to third man. The third man has not even looked at that. That's a lovely shot for 4.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Oh dear. Lockie 6 says, I love Messi's euphemism for transportation. Will Reynolds says, I'm still not allowed in Oz because of that. Is that because of Sparta? Duckett,
no, because of his illness.
Yeah.
Duckett's still on pace for a record strike rate ton.
Oh, that's a good in-swinger. Almost the old Jeff Thompson Sandshoe crusher there, but Brooke just about gets his bat down in time, squirts it out into the offside. When he picks himself up off the ground, he takes a single.
Yeah, Rutherford appealed, but it was definitely off bat. Not. Would have been interesting if it had hit his toe, but it didn't.
I mean, you look at the trigger moment for Brooke, he's gone back a very long way, and he's got flat-footed shoes on without any bobbles or spikes. So that's what caused him to fall over.
I hate batting spikes. Always batted with bobbles.
Anyway, 14 overs, England 173 for 2.
Kieran says, if Bear went for a walk and walked a mile south, a mile west, then a mile north, and ended up in the same place, and on his walk he saw another bear, what colour would that bear be?
White.
Brown.
And
White.
Chris Lacroix has to smile it by saying that's the triangle with 3 right angles, non-Euclidean geometry rocks.
Hussain going to continue and finish off his spell. He's 0 for 37 off his 3 overs so far. Starts walking in, then explodes a little bit with the delivery stride. That's angled in and punched out to long on by Brooke. Takes a single.
Lockie 6 corrects you. He says in capital letters, Queenslander.
Sorry.
I've slightly forgiven Queenslanders since our federal election, where they got rid of the...
Oh, my brother's a Queenslander. I'm sure my brother lives in Ipswich.
Yeah, there's some pretty redneck politicians in Queensland.
Yeah, well, it's redneck territory, isn't
Over the wicket by Hussain. That's floated up on the stumps. Duckett swishes that off the front foot into the leg side, and nicely placed to ensure that he gets 2 for his efforts.
Queenslanders and Northern Territory people, I sort of equate to sort of Texans.
Texans.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
How big is your ranch? Well, you can ride over it in 3 days. It's not very big then.
Yeah.
Hussain to Duckett. That's a full toss, and it's punched back by Duckett.
That's a drop.
I'm not sure he was...
He didn't really get his hands to it. You can't say he dropped it. He missed it.
Missed it, yeah.
Takes a single.
Mischance.
I think that was over him before he had his hands up in time.
Oh, yeah, probably a bit too high.
Maybe he was a bit scared.
I would have been.
Yeah.
It was travelling.
Anyway, Brooke now on 8 off 6 so far. Ran the wicket, Hussain, and aborted. Yeah, I think he went for his hop for his delivery stride and didn't quite land right, so he decided I'll just not bowl that one.
I couldn't bowl in spikes either.
I had a problem starting from a standing mark, so that is sashayed down the ground. Is that going to be out? Oh, it's just short of the long on fielder. Brooke went down the wicket, hit it up and over, thought he was going to get it wide of long on, and in the end it was just short. Did they get 2? They probably didn't.
No, they didn't. It was only 1.
We got a change coming up in 2 balls time.
We do.
What is it?
Al Hodge is coming on to ball by ball arm, staying on socials, and Jason summarising.
You're going to have to switch into this chair then.
Oh, bugger.
Oh, he's bowled him, surely.
Nice
hasn't he?
ball.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yep, he's just...
That's so annoying. I had over 179 and a half.
Oh, Bear. You've done pretty well so far, though.
That is the end of Duckett for 84.
Pretty good innings.
He's just tried to sweep a Yorker, having stepped across the line. Don't sweep on the stumps, boy.
Basically, yeah.
The crowd says. The crowd says.
That was sort of asking for trouble, wasn't it?
I think he got a little bit of under edge on it even. He didn't just get anything on it.
Anyway, he's done most of the damage. Now just up to the following batsman to continue the good work.
5 overs left.
Yeah. And now, who would you bring out now? Is an interesting question. Would you bring out Bethel now?
Yeah, I'd send Bethel out for sure.
It's got to be Bethel because he's a left-right-hander still. But Banton did really well the other night as well.
Yeah.
And Will Jacks isn't bad at 7 either, so...
There's an argument for either Bethel or Banton is going to be... Looks like Bethel to me.
Yeah, it is Bethel.
So I've picked the wrong one for the cart. It's going to be this guy.
Jacob Bethel's born in Barbados, now he plays for the English team. They say that he is an all-rounder, but that remains to be seen.
Where was it? Parabadgel says that, well, the West Indies aren't returning to the Caribbean as they're coming back here to Ireland to be rained on in the northwest for the rest of the week. So there's some more matches against Ireland now, the Parrot. And then they're back to the West Indies for a 3-test series against Australia, including the first day-night test match in the West Indies.
Oh, wow. Where's the day-night test?
Got a feeling it's Trinidad, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'll be the Port of Spain or the other. And that's almost yorked him as Bethel tries to work that off the leg stump to the leg side. In the end, he hits it straight to fielder and cannot take a run. That's the 15th over done.
Oh, you're going to have to come in here, Messi. I'm out.
Oh, right.
And
evening, chaps.
Evening. Al, how are you?
Excited by the first 15 overs.
It's all down here. It's all down here from now.
Well, the West Indies scored 71 from 4 overs at the end of the second game at Bristol on a pitch that was not as batter friendly as this. So all bets are on.
Yeah. Alzari Joseph is going to continue.
Bears over. 0 for 32 off 2 overs, Alzari Joseph, which means he's probably about middle of the pack in terms of the West Indians that have taken a bit of tap. He's going to bowl to Harry Brook, who attempts to scoop, falls over in the process, but it goes beautifully over short fine leg, and that will go for a rather ungainly 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Lots of premeditation in that shot, but to be fair, he did the important things, which he kept his eye on the ball and the ball onto the bat.
And just remember, folks, there are no pictures on scorebox.
That's going to make some photographer's day if he gets a good snap of that.
Yeah, just like we drew it on. Just like we drew it on.
Yeah.
182 for 3. Going at 12 and over. So that puts us in 240 range.
You've not allowed for the acceleration either.
Well,
he says with a slightly tongue-in-cheek.
It started in 5th gear and it's kind of fairly much stayed there. Joseph composes himself, comes in again, and that is a terrible leg side delivery, which May well still be called a wide. They've run through fur by. Shai Hope got a hand to it, but could really only kind of push it behind the post, really.
I think
so
he's got
will be
part of his body on that, if not the bat.
Well, if he got his bat on it, then that's a drop.
Oh,
two hands, like his mama taught him.
Good effort.
It was a great effort by Shai Hope.
Full horizontal dive. Good commitment there from Shai Hope. So Brook is on 14, but it's going to be Bethel who's going to face this next delivery. Joseph in, and is wide outside the off stump. Bethel batting left-handed, of course. Cut to a deep backward point, and that will be just a single. Bit of a misfield, but nothing major.
Yeah, slightly unfortunate. If he hit that 4 yards either side of that man, that might well have been 4. He was hit that well down to third man. As
So
we
we're
watched, that is a bit of a glove. That was a drop, a very hard drop. So maybe a 1 in 10er.
And a shitty ball too. Didn't deserve a wicket.
I can refer to your T-shirt there. Brook steps to leg, ungainly hoik towards the leg side. Mistimed well enough that it beats batsman. A grubber of a throw that Shai Hope is looking at as if to see what's offended him. And the upshot of all of that chaos is 2 runs to Harry.
Shai Hope is grinning because you can't countenance hitting the wicket ends on a previous wicket.
Yeah,
the ball just doesn't get up.
It just turned into a worm burner, didn't it? Coming towards him. 186 for 3, 2 balls left in the 16th over.
If it'd been straight, it would have been quite close to being run out, I think.
Well, that is again another another horrible leg side delivery. That will be wides, and there's going to be 4 of them. Hope couldn't get a hand to this one. That's quite awful ball.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary.
Just a little bit, just a modicum of control. That's all. You can't. They're 191 for 3 in the 16th over. What they don't need is extra balls. Another leg side delivery. Brook actually takes so much room to leg that he can't connect. Shai Hope is looking bemused behind the stumps. We're going to see if there was an edge at all, but this is all becoming a little bit village, really. Harry Brook has decided that he's going to bat 5. He's going to bat 2 full paces to his leg side.
That's nuts.
Well, he's shown his hand so early that he just needs to stay where he is and watch the ball be delivered 5 down the leg side.
He did the same thing at Bristol. He's decided that the way to. I'm just going to move sideways. He's attempted another lap shot over his shoulder. He goes down to one knee. It won't be given as a wide. It was taken well by Hope, taking a step to leg, and that's the end of the over.
So if West Indies had batted first, we could have gone home early, says Kieran. Will Reynolds says, does that mean they'll be forced to read the belly telly? Poor bastard. What's the belly telly? I've got no idea. Kieran, I fear you misunderstand. I was avoiding giving the specific answer to that question, globally speaking. Stephen Kelp says, Queenslander, there can be only one. Lockie Six says, my Queensland mullet prevents red-neckedness. I would argue the case on that one. A Queensland mullet is almost part of the Queensland red-neckedness.
Well, we need a mullet to cover the hair at the back, so you can't have a red neck.
Kieran says, a Queensland mullet sounds like a shitty fish meal.
Moti will bowl the 17th over, and that was a lovely attempted drive by Bethels. half stopped in the covers, and they'll take a sharp single. Jez, you're going tomorrow, aren't you, to Lords?
I am indeed. It's going to be warm.
Have you heard who Australia's opening partnership?
Yes, it's the Labuschagne and Khawaja.
Do you reckon that's the first sign that Marnus is under a bit of pressure to keep his name in the side?
Yeah, well, it's the first time he's ever opened in a test match.
Harry Brook, another step to leg. Moti tries to counter by bowling right at the line that distinguishes a wide. Goes slightly the wrong side, and it is a wide. Harry Brook, stay where you are. The world's going to be easier if you just stand still. He doesn't. He steps to leg, and he spoons a ball that just about makes it through the covers. It would have been caught by point, but there's a backward point that can't make the distance, and that's going to be a single.
Yeah, there's just too many moving parts at the moment for Harry Brook.
He did this on Sunday, I think. He's just trying too much.
If he stands still, he stands a better chance at timing the ball. But, just seems all a little bit unnecessary. Bethel will
that might go.
Take a ball that was on leg stump, full delivery, and he has, taken it up and out over deep square leg, and that's 6.
Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6.
The only question of whether he got enough range on that one. It was certainly high enough. He hit it very high.
Yeah, it seemed to be in the air for a very long time. He seemed confident enough though when he hit it. You can see a lot in the sort of the just a couple of seconds after the ball's been hit.
No,
really.
that is one of his trademark shots, is through deep square leg.
And that brings up to 200. Don't say that very often. And that is hit back over the bowler's head from a back of a length delivery, and that will be another 6 of the King's runs.
2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row.
Oh, I've got the Iron Maiden jingle teed up just in case.
It's very stand and delivered. Ball a bit short of a length, but as Smith did at the beginning of the innings, just the ability, the track is good enough that you can stand and hit the ball straight without really too much extra effort. As Moti goes around the wicket, and Bethel goes back in his crease, and will that go over deep mid wicket? Just good work in the at the boundary sponge, but flailing effort in the end, just taken over the edge of the sponge. And shall we have the number of the beast?
We shall have the number of the beast. And it's beastly innings here. There's no messing around at all.
Yeah, so that's what, 18, 21. Yeah, a lot of runs coming in this over. This one, final ball of the over, will be driven down to long on for a single. Bethel looks like he's missed out on a low full toss there. He's on 21, Brooks on 17, and England are really taking this out of West Indies' hands before they've even bowled the ball.
We do have a super chat from the wonderful Ombre Nuevo, who has sent us £1.99.
Super chat.
He just says, "Evening, Super Gents. I noticed that he posted on Blue Sky yesterday or the day before a picture of his brand new bat for this year with the Gorilla Cricket sticker on it, which, of course, he designed, which sort of is the perfect circle. Well done. Queenslanders are even avoided by Aussies," says Dirty Sanchez. There's a bit of truth in that. Lockie Six says it's a sunburn thing. One must choose between being a bogan or a bastard. Are you saying that every Queenslander is either a bogan or a bastard, or both?
Seems a bit binary.
Are they mutually exclusive? Can you not be both?
No, you could be both. Bogan bastard, absolutely.
It's going to be Jason Holder who's going to bowl over 18 and presumably over 20, as that is hit back of a length. Bethel's tried to take him out the ground immediately, and that is just escaped the clutches of between
dear.
point and deep point.
This doesn't look good for the fielder.
And there is a West Indian with a hamstring pull.
Big fella, is that Holder? No, it's not Holder.
Holder's bowling. I think that might be
Romario.
Yeah, I wonder if Shepard.
So Bethel's tried to go deep and straight. It's skewed off the outside edge. It's gone. It's just been missed by Johnson Charles, who has not necessarily covered himself in glory. This
it's almost innocuous. He didn't really do anything to warrant that. No, yes, he bent down, but no.
Yeah,
number 68. So
suddenly it's like delayed action on his hamstring.
Yep. I think it is Shepard, isn't it?
That might be.
Not quite sure. However, I think that might be his day run. I think.
Yeah.
That does not.
Thankfully, he's not a horse because they take him out the back and deal with him.
It's an interesting school of physiotherapy you've got there, Jace.
I said, thankfully, he's not a horse. So, who have they got as a replacement fielder, a sub-fielder? I don't know.
Why is the commentator repeating himself? 666 says Windy Fanatic.
I only know one value. So
Kane has scored for England versus Senegal, I'm told.
It's a welcome change from the game against Andorra. 214 for 3 is this is gonna. I don't know how WinViz is going to have a look at this. I'd imagine it's probably over 90%.
Well, the bad news, if that is Shepard, not only does it affect potentially their next over, but also affects their lower order batting as well, because he's quite a useful biffer.
Right. Brook is facing, and he stands still, and he still can't time the ball. It was there to be hit there in the slot, and he can only mistime it back to Jason Holder. And that is... Have we got a jingle for a dot ball?
I will look. There might be one in play.
Feels like it deserves one, because there haven't been many of them. England have been trying to break the jingle machine today. 214 for 3. Absolutely rip-roaring stuff. Harry Brook tries to take a ball that he should be maybe even leaving for a wide outside the off stump, and tries to play it over short fine leg and can barely reach short fine leg. He mistimes the ball so badly. The upshot of all this movement is a single, and it's just it is just a bit unnecessary.
We do have a dot ball jingle. Here we go.
Dot balls are golden.
That is a great Yorker attempt. It swings probably too much to be LBW, but I think it nutmegs Bethel on its way through to the keeper. An absolutely rip snorter of a delivery. That is, he's a lucky boy there, isn't he, Bethel?
Yeah.
Oh,
that is fabulous.
Yeah, it's just a bit too much. It's not going to hit the fourth stump. If it needed to be one stump over, I think.
If it was one stump over, he would have
hit it. Exactly that.
This one, though, is in the slot outside the off stump. Bethel takes it straight over the head of the bowler. Now, has Rodman Powell saved 2 there?
Yeah, I think he has.
That's a fantastic piece of fielding.
I'm glad the smiles come to Rodman Powell's face, because he looked angry as anything as he threw that ball in. Bethel goes to 24. 217 for 3 is the total. Let's have a look at the nifty footwork.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
That's a big batsman using a big bowler's technique.
That is good work, though, using all the everything in his disposal in order to be able to stop the boundary. And 1 ball left in this over. 217 for 3 is the total. Holder coming in. This one is outside the off stump, and that has been reverse swept past short third man. A bit ungainly in the end as Bethel nearly falls over himself, but he'll get 4 in the most inventive way.
The number of the day Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
Pirate Bradshaw says there's 3 T20Is in Breedy on the 12th, 14th and 15th. 3 and 4 days, that's unusual internationally. Rain is predicted for 2 of those, and who knows about the last. That's an Irish risk always, isn't it? Windy Fanatic says the test matches versus Australia will be done and dusted before nightfall. Oh, you never know, it might be better than that.
Well, just have to wait and see.
Chris the Crier said, I thought you were going to say the West Indies Australia day-nighter was in Fort Lauderdale or the like.
Probably get a bigger audience, potentially.
You'd want to travel to America. 2 overs left. Alzari Joseph to bowl the 19th over. 221 for 3. Harry Brook takes a step to leg, then swings and misses at the ball.
This is a very frenetic and ultimately unsuccessful innings by Brook.
He's batting like an overexcited, over-sugar-fied
It's hard to say
9-year-old.
It's hard to say he's no, he's pinch blocking when he's still going at just above a run the ball, but it's
not intelligent cricket.
No, it's not.
It's futile. What's the definition of madness? To do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome? Brook takes a step to leg, tries to lap it over his shoulder, fails to make contact because he's batting like Liam effing Livingston.
Exactly right. That's exactly what Livingston did all the time, and every now and then it'd come off.
All he's doing is slowing down the run rate
All
at this
he's
point
doing
in
is
time.
eating up balls that
Bethel
would make better use of. So get down the other end.
Take a single and watch a proper batsman do it.
This is the skipper you're talking to, Al.
Well,
I'm sure
there'll be some bat-like one. He takes a step to leg before the ball's bowled. He
there he
tries to go that over his shoulder.
He does.
It looks weird in 3D on a 2D screen, and it's gone for 6 right over the keeper's head.
Yeah, that's a Livingston 60s if ever I saw one.
Yeah, well, sometimes they do come off.
Well, I mean, it was difficult to tell because it just went. It looked like it went straight up in the air.
Even Harry Brook will get it right once in an over.
Well, it's gone really fine. I'm sure it's gone in the general area in which he wanted it to go. So kudos. 227 for 3. Halfway through the 19th over, Joseph comes in and follows Brook as Brook moves to the leg side, and they'll take a single down to third man and bring the man in form on fifth bat. Bethel's got 28 off 11.
Suter, who has filled in the gaps for us, he says it's Rutherford that went off, and he thinks it was King that came on in his place.
Well, he looked like he was going to play no further part in the game. He had that look of like when he started to crouch down of like I don't want to move any more than
a big loss to their batting in the chase.
Oh yeah, it's massive. Rutherford's been in quite good nick as well.
Apparently they're 2 overs behind, so you can expect the next over there'll be an extra man inside the circle too.
Well, when it... they have had to go and fetch the ball a lot.
Yeah, but that's supposedly taken into account.
Is it?
Yep.
Well, it did say 0-0-0-0 remaining as Bethel takes a ball from just outside the off stump, stands completely stock still, and drills it over long on for 6.
Super shatter, super shatter, super shatter, super shatter, super shatter, rocka, rocka, super shatter.
He doesn't need it to be too wide, does he?
No. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that he could get to 50 in the remaining, whatever it is, 9 balls.
As long as Brook
England
gets out
well
of
set
this
for
one.
250 too.
He's looked really good at the latter half of these 3 T20 games. As that is an attempt to go slightly wider, too wide in fact, and the last ball of the 19th over will have to be bowled again as the score ticks over to 235 for 3.
Wide.
Well, it's certainly quick, 89 miles an hour. but
Interesting figure from Sky. The strike rate in this innings, when it's above 75 miles an hour, is 226. Below 75 miles an hour, it's 138. That's a massive difference.
Take the pace off, I think.
A pedestrian 140. This one again is wide, but it's close enough to Bethel that he will be able to hit the ball towards deep backward point. He'll take a single. He'll retain the strike. He's on 35. 1 over left to go. It's 2-3-6 for 3.
Windy Fanatic says Powell is angry. They took the captaincy away from him. Lockie 6 says Australia is actually pretty homogeneous these days. One only sees the odd disparate character of states in older folks in regional areas, both of which I am now. Yeah, well, that's from the inside looking out then, isn't it, Lockie?
The umpires made a sign like he's Pete Townsend from The Who, which I'm assuming means an extra
time's
fielder
up and
inside
the extra
the
fielder
circle.
has to come in.
Yeah. Or that he's going to beat the shit out of his guitar.
Well, indeed, there is that.
Chris the Cross says it sounds like Brooke is trying to burp and fart at the same time and ends up with hiccups. That's not a bad description, actually. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, you have a jeweler's eye for detail. It's going to be Holder to bowl the last over. That one is full and wide. Is it too wide?
No, it's not. In fact, it was so full it pitched past the stumps, which I think surprised Bethel, which is why he didn't get his bat across onto it.
It was very well bowled. Yeah, it was just a little bit slow, 131 Ks.
So, hold it in again. Bethel tries to meet him at that point where the line is, determining a wide, but the length again fools Bethel. He tries to hoik it over deep mid wicket, but goes through to the keeper. And well bowled, Jason Holder.
Yeah, good start to his final over.
2 dot balls. Can't remember when that's happened in this innings so far. Third ball.
Ooh,
that one will be too
well
wide.
rolled.
Takes a bit of an awkward hop off the strip, but no extra runs, just the wide.
Nick Vickers says, hi everyone, just tuning in. If the IPL's taught me anything, that's a pretty decent T20 score. Come on, England, and smash the like and subscribe buttons.
Indeed, this one is full again, able to be driven hard and well timed by Bethel, but only as far as long off, and that will be a single. He'll go
fantastic
to 36.
shot for one.
Yeah, you won't play many better shots for one.
Just to let you know, Kieran, no, Nick Vickers is not the Nick we have in the studio today. That's Nick Brooks. So they are, well, as far as I know, they are distinctly individual.
Yeah, they haven't come from the same original embryo.
Three balls left.
We're well endowed with Brooks, generally speaking.
And Nick's, for that matter, as well.
And Nick's, yes.
2-3-8 for 3. As this one is wide of the off stump. Brook thinks about taking a step to leg, but stays close enough to the stumps for long enough to mistime it.
He's actually hit it
the covers
so badly that he's got 2 from it, because if he hit it better, the boundary fielder point on the boundary would have been able to cut off the second run.
Indeed. Hit it where they ain't, I believe, is the secret. As England reach 240 with 2 balls left to go. Brook will keep the strike on 27.
Hard for Bethel to get his 50 now.
Shorter ball, Harry Brook with a straight pull.
Out of the ground.
And that will go over the sponge, over long on, and that's 6.
So the 250 is still on.
I think that was the slower bouncer, and Brook was able to wait on it. Not necessarily out of your coaching manual, but highly effective. 33, Brock has. Just think it could have been so much easier and a little bit more if he'd been less frenetic. He's played his best shots when he's been still.
Yeah. Paul Stratton suggests he should be at number 7 in the T20. He doesn't really get it properly.
Last ball. This one is a leg stump. Yorker's flicked towards deep square leg. Misfield, which kind of sums up the whole 20 innings experience for the West Indies. And so Brook will take 2. He'll be on 35. Bethel will be on 36. And the West Indies need the small matter of 249 runs in order to be able to win this T20. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Sizable target, that is. Particularly with the loss of Rutherford to their batting.
Have England made many bigger scores than that in T20s at home?
I'd imagine not. I don't have immediate access to that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about where that might rank in the old in the history books.
I'm sure the host broadcaster will soon flash up a total of where it is, if it is in the top 5.
What are England's highest T20I scores? Kieran Roseblade is still trying to revive his fielding positions, which is frankly a hopeless cause. He says, is that a straight pull over the 11 o'clock 100% fielder? It might be, if anybody understood what the fuck you were talking about, Kieran. Mayank gets in on the same thing. The Ashes 100%, no question, no doubt, says Richard Peel. What does that mean? Australia's going to win the Ashes? Of course. Windy Fanatic says 249 runs. That will never happen. Nick Vicker says, no, I'm just following the action from the north of Spain. I'd have to seriously brush up on fielding positions to do commentary. Well,
it comes quicker than you think.
Indeed, it does.
It does. If we can get it, you can get it too. That's what
absolutely.
I'd say. Let's have a quick run through the
second
card and
that's the second highest score by England. In T20
and the highest in England.
Highest in England. I'm not sure. Is Tarouba just outside Bournemouth? Is that
Tarouba
right?
is in Trinidad and Tobago. It's the other ground in Trinidad.
So great start to the innings. Smith and Duckett. Smith was the first to fall. Caught Hetmeyer bowled Moti 60 off 26. Buttler, I think, was the next to go. I think he was. He went when the score was 154. He went, caught Hetmeyer bowled Rutherford for 22. That was off 10 deliveries. Duckett was your third and final wicket, bowled Hussain. 84 off 46 balls. 10 fours, 2 sixes, and he only had 8 dot balls, which I think is pretty cool. And then the unbroken partnership at the end. Brook not out 35 off 22. Bethel not out 36 off 16. 11 extras, which if you're in this sort of mood, you don't want to give 11 extra balls. 248 for 3. Of all the bowling figures, nothing really much to write home about.
The most economic one was actually Rutherford, who went for 10 and over.
Off his 2 overs. Holder probably the best of the bowlers, 4 overs, 0 for 43. Gents, anything you wanna add?
I'm going to say it's not going to happen. I want to break because I'm back on in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I shall leave you with Jason to sort out what we're going to do in the break.
I was hoping the pair would put something on, but we may as well wibble because if it's going to be short.
We can chat about whatever you like. What's on your mind, Jason?
Interesting Test Championship starting tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm interested in this new Aussie all-rounder that
Bo
I seems
Webster.
to have. Yeah, it doesn't.
He's very handy indeed. Big tall guy who can bowl either pace on sort of up to the low 80s potentially, but he can also bowl spin if he needs to, and a handy bat.
Well, he's going to come in at 5 or 6, isn't he?
Yeah. I saw him this season playing for Warwickshire.
Yeah.
In a match on absolute flat as a dead as a donkey pitch, but he looked promising. And I can totally see why. No, with Cam Green's potential injuries, they would want someone else who can potentially bowl those 10 overs of stuff that they need to bowl as a fifth bowler.
Yeah, because they've gone with
the Fab Four. They've gone with the Fab Four.
Yeah, Boland's the bowler to miss out, isn't he?
Yeah.
So that, I mean, the only surprise for me is Labuschagne opening, because it's been kind of a revolving door of partners for Khawaja, hasn't it? Since
Constance hasn't impressed, and who were the others who've tried and failed? But I think actually that might not be the worst position for Labuschagne, because he would have potentially come in at 3 anyway.
Well, I mean, I only said it half in jest, with the idea that with Green coming back, there's real congestion in the middle order, and so it makes sense to take a middle order batsman and try and make them open rather than take another unproven opener.
I may be misremembering this, but I thought Green opened the innings for Gloucester in a match earlier this year, but I could be wrong.
Well, if it's I mean, the interesting thing for me is that if this is an experiment that doesn't work, when you say give him the WTC game and the Windies tests to be able to kind of prove that he can slot in there, I wonder, and I'd be cock-a-hoop about it, that when it comes to the first Ashes test, Labuschagne might not be in the test team, because he hasn't scored a century in 18 months.
Something like that, yeah.
I'd rather have him watching than playing.
Yes, it's like the Aussies were always annoyed when was not in the side. Oh, Mark Ramprakash. They rated Mark Ramprakash because he always played well against them. And they said when he was not in the side, they thought, thank God for that.
Yeah, it is funny when you try to kind of look at it from your opponent's perspective, I suppose.
Yes, that's always a good one. No, do what the opposition doesn't like. No.
And South Africa are going to try an all-rounder at 3. I believe that's worked out quite well for them before, hasn't it? Some bloke called Callis.
Yeah, he was a bit handy.
He was quite handy. Although, let's just say right now, we are not trying to compare any player in the South African team to Jack Callis. Quite possibly the best cricketer who's ever played.
The man was a freak. Something like 13,500 runs,
300 test wickets, 100 catches.
300 test wickets and more like 150 catches.
Yeah, you can YouTube me why I'm wrong, of course, through the second innings, but I think he's the best cricketer who's ever played.
Yeah, the only thing he didn't really have was a charisma factor that people like Lara had. But in terms of sheer numbers, statistically, he probably is the best cricketer ever. And I know all the West Indies will kill me now with Garfield Sobers.
Hey, listen, this isn't, to be number 2 in that list, and it's not to besmirch anything that Sir Garfield Sobers ever did. I promise you, it's comparing two absolute superhuman cricketers, but
playing in a very different era.
Well, yeah, and there's lots to add in about Sir Garfield's captaincy and things like that Callis never really had to deal with. But
he liked to night out. He liked to set, shall we say, challenging totals for his team to defend.
Yeah,
he keeps people in the game, make more of a game of it.
Sometimes you have to risk losing in order to be able to pull off the victory. So it certainly beats some of the captaincy by numbers that we see at the minute.
Yes.
But we are, I think everyone associated with guerrilla cricket's probably really looking forward to a slightly slower pace of game,
You reckon it'll be a slower pace of game with Ben Stokes as a captain?
Well,
he doesn't let the grass grow under his feet either.
Well, that is true, but we'll have to wait a little bit for him. We'll get the World Test Championship out the way. Jace, as England come onto the field, who's on for the first 5?
Who's on the first 5?
It's me. Hey everyone, it's James here, and
James.
Al, and then is it Messi?
I don't know who it is. The bear is walking towards us.
Oh, the bear. Oh no, maybe it's the bear
It's
and
Bear
Messi.
and
Oh,
and
no.
James,
There we go.
James, good to see you. Hope you've watched
Good to
the Carnage.
I have been enjoying the tsunami of shit that has been flinging the way of the bowlers, and as the West Indies openers trudge out. We're ignoring Messi. Trudge out to the middle now. They know that they are having to take down a quite simply enormous total. So England, in case you're just joining us, got to 248 for 3 after Duckett and Smith went crazy. They were like dogs in a cake shop at the start. There was no stopping them. Then it all slowed up a little bit, and then the new golden boy Bethel and the old golden boy Brooke went crazy as well.
They did indeed. Oh shit! I've got to go under for full of the first wicket.
We should shall we jingle a few people? We've got Luke Wood.
We
going to bowl
have.
for England.
He's going to
Who we
bowl.
started?
I found him the other day, and I put him in here, and he sounds like this. Oh,
That's it.
There you go.
We also have. I believe he opens with.
Backwards name alert. Johnson Charles.
There we go. Well, as promised, Lewis and Charles, who have got a hell of a job on their hands, as Luke Wood, the workshop maestro, puts it onto the leg side, and Lewis says, "Thank you very much. I'll flip that over mid-wicket. Is that for a 6?"
Ooh, nicely.
Well, that ain't a bad way to start, is it, Bear?
It was a
Bear.
pretty shit. Bear's busy going under. It was a pretty shit ball, but it was a really good
shit ball.
shot.
Yeah, he picked that up with a great deal of ease. Well, bear in mind that the last match, Luke Wood had the dream start. So now he's gone in the opposite direction. He's having the nightmare start. But in he comes again. It's on the legs again. It spoons up, this time into the leg side. He scuttled through for a single there. It's fielded by Rashid. What did you make of Wood last match? He's someone who played a couple of matches and disappeared, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got potential, but doesn't seem to have that consistency about him, does he?
No, I agree. He played for many years for Notts and was a well-loved son of Nottinghamshire, but obviously is off in Lancashire now as he's getting ready to bowl to Johnson Charles, another of the meaty-muscled fellas that make up this West Indies team. Comes in again here, Wood. This time the line is straighter. Charles tries to play out onto the leg side, but it squirts out into the offside. Better line there from... We can allow a bowler a couple of deliveries, can't we, when you've got so many runs on the board?
I think that's true. Yeah, I mean, there's an awful lot of reasonable seam bowlers of T20 cricket. The secret is to find one who've got something extra.
Yes. Which I don't think Wood has.
No.
Really, has he? He strikes me as a very good county pro as he comes in to disprove us here. Charles moves towards the leg side and Wood can just push it through him. Buttler takes a diving stop there. So 7 at the moment for the West Indies. I also think he's got a slight Timu Errol Flynn look going on, which is not something that you expect to see in the 2020s. So I do respect him for that.
Yeah, at least he hasn't got a bloody a mullet going for him.
He hasn't got a baby mullet. He hasn't got a full mullet. He's got a short back and sides. He could be a squadron leader in World War II as this one flies in like a squadron would. It's squirted out, but it's fielded straight away. No run there for Charles, who remains on 0. So after that initial terrible delivery for 6, I'm glad to report that Luke Wood has dialed in 4 balls without scorers. We see Bethel on the screen, a man who very much is of the mullet crew. I'm glad to say. You've got to have a balance of mullets in the side nowadays. It can't all be short back and sides. Wood comes in to complete his over. Charles backs away, but Wood again follows him. Damn me, that was a good recovery. So at the end of the over, West Indies are 7 without loss. What's happening on YouTube?
Kieran Roseblade says all up for 150. You heard it here first. Sudahu was saying Marnus is opening because he's played every other championship game. Inglis will replace him after. I would have liked to see the Australian selectors go for Inglis now. I think he's got huge potential.
Yes.
Robert Wilford Paul says the West Indies women won their last game on their tour of England. Can the men win theirs? I'll not put a wager on that though.
Yeah,
congratulations to you guys for such good commentary allied with those jingles. Thank you very much, Robert.
Well, talking of jingles, we've got a new bowler on, of course, to complete the set. We might just see through his first delivery and then jingle him in. That man is Bryden Carse, a man with a sleeve tattoo, bringing it in from the test team. Facing him is Eamon Lewis. In comes Carse, pitched halfway down the wicket and just steered off the hips there for a single. Should we jingle him up now, Bryden Carse?
Here we can indeed. Sounds like this.
Stick your hopes of victory up to Brian Cast. Your hopes and dreams are flying at half mast. When the Brian comes a-calling, all your fears will be falling. Stick it all right up your Bryden Cast.
Where do we think Bryden Carse sits when Wood's back from injury, and let's pretend that Jofra Archer at some point comes back from injury?
He's got a bit of...
well, they're talking about Jofra for the second test, mate.
Yeah.
Well, here he comes again. This time Charles takes a swipe at it and misses it completely. It goes through to Buttler on the second bounce. Go on, carry on, lads.
He's got a bit of grunt about him, Cars, hasn't he? It's,
yeah.
He's a South African, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, well, he's got that sort of, I don't know, visceral nature to him that a lot of South African quick bowlers seem to have, which is no harm.
Yeah, we could do with a bit of that. But do you see him as in the first team when Archer and Wood come back?
Ooh, well, Wood's not
not in England in the Test match. If you've got Wokes playing as well.
Anyway,
I doubt it.
Carse comes in again, and this time there's a swipe and there's a pull out to the leg side, and there is a 4.
Ooh, let's play a jingle.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
I put a couple of quid on the West Indies to win, and it was 14-1.
Oh dear.
Well, you know, it's 14-1. It's a misery.
Yeah,
If it comes in, it's 30 quid for.
Well, it's going to be a hell of a match if they now deliver on that bet for you. You never know.
Well, exactly.
England have got so many runs. This Carse comes in once again. Again, it's halfway down the wicket. This time it's more of a bouncer. Charles swipes at it and then looks towards the umpire to say, for fuck's sake, come on, that was above my shoulder.
Yeah, I don't think
He's
it
not
was.
having any of it. He's not having any of that. Oh,
no ball.
We are getting a no ball. We are. And there's a free hit coming up now. So this will be interesting. This is a chance for them to clear away. Now, bear in mind, just to set this into context, that England got to 100 in the 8th over. So England got off to a roaring start. So immediately West Indies are going to behind the 8 ball unless something remarkable happens. And he swipes that out over extra cover, and it goes all the way to the boundary for another 4.
4 on the floor, and one more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4s are for, to get funky on the dance floor.
They could do with are you all right there, Bet?
Yeah.
You could do with a few more of them, I think, couldn't they?
Yeah, certainly could.
It's going okay so far, but of course with a score of that size, you're immediately under pressure, aren't they? You can't relax into the innings. You haven't got the freedom as Carse in once more, darts it, and it's dug out by Charles. No run this time. That fifth ball of the over there.
That's exactly it. This is the kind of thing where either you get off to an absolute flyer and you're kind of on target, or you end up having to smash it about, lose 4 wickets in the power play, and it's all over.
Yeah, it's like the single lad when it comes to the last dance at the disco. He's just desperately scrambling around for something.
Lovely metaphor.
Oh, God, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
Yeah, Cars in to complete the over. This time it is pulled by Charles. It's not going to the boundary, unfortunately for him. So, at the end of the second over, West Indies are 18 without loss. What's happening on socials?
Well, apart from post-traumatic stress being triggered by you, Kieran said after the first ball, hang on, West Indies are on for 7:20 here. Lockie 6 says, righto, let's hope for a cracking good start, tally-ho. Paul Stratton says, West Indies will give this chase a real good go. Hope Brooke is happy with his contribution. Wind is 200 after 10, says Andres Rousseau. The only acceptable mullet is the one that swims, says Parrot Bradshaw. I'm entirely with you there.
I like that, yes.
I don't know. I sort of feel like I've almost got a bit of a mullet myself, but not in the kind of modern way. But anyway, a man who hasn't got a mullet and will never have a mullet, Luke Wood, comes in. Charles gives himself space, but he's only able to patty cake it down the ground. No run for Charles as the sun begins to set. Everyone's got a... It depends on who you are. You either got a lovely golden glow on your face, or if you're one of the gammons in the crowd, you've got a terrible pink hue that you're going to get bollocked for when you get home for not putting on suntan cream. There we can see Captain Brooke.
It's virtually everyone. This is England, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Wood comes in again. This time Charles stands and delivers, but unfortunately he delivers straight to the fielder and he has gone.
Nick and the Bears under comes in.
Absolutely.
18 for 1.
Oh, well, let's give it one of these.
The crowd says, the crowd says, the crowd says you're out.
I've got to say Charles has been pretty ordinary this whole series in my view.
Yes, he has been. I kind of felt like, in real time, I thought he caught that, but it feels like it was a bit more to the side of the bat. He faced 12 balls for that 9. Caught by Smith, bowled by Wood. And one bonus maybe for the West Indies to focus on is we got to see Luke Wood's turkey teeth, which he's clearly had done. They're absolute shiners.
Along with his Aryan haircut, yeah?
Yeah, it's amazing. If the floodlights go down at any point later, don't worry, just get Woody smiling. Tickle Wood and we'll be all right. Smart catch by Smith. Didn't really have to move above his head. He's having a good match.
Well, there they are.
There they are, look at them.
Oh my God.
They're incredible. I really remember going to see, after the first year of the IPL, the Rajasthan Royals play against Middlesex. And the gloomier it got, the more you could see Shane Warne on the field. Just because his teeth were like luminescent. It was astonishing. Anyway, new batsman in, the skipper, Shea Hope.
And he has a jingle like this. Good one, actually.
Shea Hope, 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 Shea Hope.
Well, Shea Hope has scuttled through for a single off his first delivery, and West Indies need hope in both senses of the word at the moment, because you don't want to be 19 for 1 when you're featuring 6 billion on the other side.
Football update for you from Nick Vickers. It says cracking goal by Senegal. Old school from a punt into the box. It's 1-1.
Come on, Senegal. As Luke Wood comes in again, it's on the hips for Lewis. You can steer it round to Rashid, who rather inelegantly picks it up with one hand. He did something impressive, but did it in an unimpressive way. Yes, I'm slightly bitter that England are playing at the City Ground tonight, and they've decided not to pick Morgan Gibbs-White, which strikes me as just a bit of a kick in the balls.
Yeah. Are you a Forest man?
I'm a Forest man, absolutely. And Gibbs-White, is amazing for
Well,
Forest.
he's going to be at Arsenal next year. I won't worry about it.
Oh, fuck off. Wood comes in again. Let's bury that thought. And this time it's just a defensive shot from Hope. Wood, bloody hell, Wood. You could keep your mark, Wood. Luke Wood. He's bowled 1.5 overs. He's taken 1 wicket and he's gone for 8 runs. It's proving that the other day wasn't.
He was 1 for 4 after 2 the other day.
Yeah, not Fluke Wood. Luke Wood, everybody. As he gets ready to complete his over now, as they would say on Sky commentary, can he get out of the over right now? As he comes in, and the answer is yes, he can. It's just another single to Hope. This is like the England middle overs, and at the end of the 3rd over, West Indies are struggling on 21 for 1.
There's been some considerable discussion around how thick a woman has to be attracted to Clarkson.
What, Jeremy?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure someone will be attracted to his vast cash pile.
Carson are quicks constantly too short. They're brainless, says Paul Stratton. Windy Fanatic says, come on guys, please give Charles a proper send-off. That was the wrong jingle.
What? You want this one? I presume.
Yep.
We can do that. It's a late one, but this is for Johnson.
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
Oh my God, that'll wake you up. Anyway, we should highlight the fact that Will Jacks is coming into the attack. Bit of spin.
It might be Will Jacks. Maybe it's Will Jacks. It's probably Will Jacks. Yeah, it's Will Jacks.
That's a bad move, I would suggest.
Yeah, it's the power play. It's Will Jacks, not one of your Premier spin bowlers, and he's just been spanked for a 6 off the first ball.
Well, no, not only that, mainly because he's a right-arm spinner bowling to a couple of right-handers. I mean, if there's a left-hander in, I can kind of understand it.
Yeah, and to highlight, the ball was pitched short, span in very slowly, gave Hope plenty of time to rock back. This time he goes round the wicket and Hope just manipulates that out to the leg side just for a single this time. Yeah, it's an interesting decision. What do you think the thinking behind it is?
I don't know. I think it's wrong-headed thinking.
Yeah.
Although he has had a good deal of success in this series so far, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, but you've got Liam Dawson in the side, and he's bowled Liam Dawson in the power play. Why doesn't he bowl Liam Dawson?
Yeah, it feels like an odd one. When you got off to a very good start, you want to capitalise on it, I would think. This feels like a bit of a gamble. Was it in the T20 World Cup where he opened once, Will Jacks? Or
yeah, he got a bit of tap as well.
And he got a lot of tap. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. He's on the legs more now. This, I think, is probably a better line for him. Lewis just chunts it out and gets the single. It's all right if he deals in singles here.
Did you say he chunted it out?
Yeah, he did,
Chunked, I think you said, didn't you?
I know I said chunted.
Oh, okay.
There's a word I haven't come across before. I rather like it.
Yeah, I do have a habit.
It has got an extra H for some people, but you know.
Well, there was plenty of the silent H's before. This time it picks up on the legs. It's slog sweep way over the boundary for one of these. Well, sometimes Shea Hope gets some stick for not being a quick enough scorer, but let me tell you, he is enjoying this bowling. It's what Boycott used to call buffet bowling, isn't it? Help yourself.
He's batted well this series, to be fair, and in the early eyes generally.
Yeah, I think he's a quality player, isn't he?
Oh, he is.
And this bowling is not quality at the moment. But let's see what he can do. This wide this time on the offside, and he goes to swipe it and he misses it completely. A precious dot ball for Jackson this over, who's already gone for 14. But let's put this in context. There were quite a lot of overs like this when the West Indies were bowling. Not necessarily in terms of quality, but in terms of output. So he's coming in now for the final delivery of this over. It's shorter again, but this time just slight steer out into the leg for Hope. He can keep the strike to end the over. The fourth over has gone. West Indies are 36 for 1. Lewis is on 9 and Hope is on 16 from 8.
Windy Fanatic says the opposite of hope is despair. Why is England playing in Nottingham, not Wembley, says Mike. That just feels wrong. I suppose they're trying to spread it around the country.
They're trying to spread the love to the regions.
Exactly.
Is Luke Wood any relation to Mark Wood? Not as far as I know.
No, he's not. No.
And he stays on his feet most of the time too. More stuff about Clarkson and his wife and his girlfriend.
Clarkson?
Oh, there was, I don't know.
Well,
All
hold
sorts
on.
of shit happens to
There's
him.
another change. The man of the hour, the comeback kid, Liam Dawson.
He sounds like this. Oh, right, yeah.
Liam. Dawson. Liam. Dawson. Liam Dawson.
Well, Liam Dawson didn't quite get his line right there, and that's a leg bye to the Windies. But this is one of the great stories of the cricketing summer so far, isn't it? Dawson back and showing what he can do. I'll answer my own question. I think it is. He's been England are currently sponsored by hula hoops, and he's been hula hooping that ball like nobody's business, and it proves that picking someone who actually knows what they're doing when the ball spins is quite a good idea sometimes.
It is indeed.
This time he comes in, it's hitting high by Lewis. High. Has it gone far enough?
No.
You know what? It's gone far enough to go into the hands of Dealey Duckett, and unfortunately it's another wicket against the Windies. This time Lewis disappears for 9.
I won't look back, 'cause by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
Oh dear.
I think that's going to be chiselled onto a gravestone, because I can't see this getting any better. There's West Indies fans with their heads in their hands already. And just got caught out by the spin there, just enough spin.
Lockie 6 says, please can this game not be a sad squib? Surely staying up all night drinking deserves a good contest. To which Mike says, Lockie, it's only Tuesday night. Wait until tomorrow to get pissed, surely. But Lockie says he's in training. Wednesday is the end of the week down under, says Eric.
No. Well, Liam Dawson, the king of spin, has returned to claim his throne here. I mean, that, as it turned out, was a pretty terrible shot, really. One of the worst shots to happen in Southampton since Rishi Sunak's dad said fancy some tonight to his wife.
That's a thought I don't want to think about.
Oh, well, I didn't close to put it into your head. Dawson, again, nice delivery first up there. And again, it's just lots of steerage at the moment. Comes right through for a couple, though. Does Hetmeyer. We should jingle him in, right, Hetmeyer?
We should do. We moved him because he wasn't playing, but here he is.
Sounds like an Israeli president.
That was ugly.
Well, yeah, I'm glad we got that in, because he almost got out straight away. Didn't quite know much about that. Just sort of spooked up.
He didn't move his feet at all, did he? He just sort of stood there.
It was a French cricket shot. It was like his feet were stuck in cement for a second. It was the sheer pace of Liam Dawson catching him out there, but that could easily have been another catch. It brings hope onto strike. Nice drive there, but it's not going to be more than one. A couple of the fielders tried to get the ball, and finally the second one does. 5 balls of the over gone now. Dawson pulling a Luke Wood on 1 for 4 at the moment. Ooh. Again, a change in the field.
We're having a switcheroo at the end of this over.
Oh, we are, absolutely. Yeah. I think Nick's coming in, aren't we? And I'm moving into the summary chair.
That's something like that.
Yeah,
Nick, Al and you.
Yeah.
Anyway, here is the final delivery, and this time Hetmeyer does get hold of it, and it is a 6.
Well, Al, come on.
So
you'll have to come in here and do jingles.
So Al's coming in. I'll just do a couple of messages while we're waiting to change. Need the body clock us about face for the next 5 days, says Lockie 6. Yes, of course, with the test match starting, it'll start about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Australian time, which isn't a bad time actually, because it means you're not hugely late if you stay up all night for it, about 3 o'clock in the morning. Not too bad, and hopefully it'll be thrilling to follow. I have another great word for you, Messi. Shart. Oh, it's when, yeah, I know that one. Okay, I'll leave it to you, Al, James, and Nick.
Hi Al, hi James. We've got Luke Wood back into the attack. He's over the wicket to Shy Hope, who works it into the leg side for a single. Bowled nicely in the power play, didn't he, Luke Wood, as he did the other night?
He's done great. I must admit, when I saw that he'd been selected for the squad, I thought it was a little bit of an odd one. It felt like a kind of a retro move.
As did I, James. You sort of forget about him. I mean, he does a bit in the PSL and he plays the blast here, but he's not sort of front and centre in your mind, is he?
No, he's not. I mean, we were just saying before, I think it's because he hasn't got like that little bit of extra. He's solid. He does what he does very well. But if it's a choice between him and Sam Curran to swing the ball up front, I'm going to take him over Sam Curran at the moment.
Absolutely. He does it 10 miles an hour faster and with a bit more consistency. Here he is. He stays over the wicket to Hetmeyer, who I think might get a bit of bat on that. It goes straight past Buttler to the boundary, so it's a much needed 4 for the West Indies, and I'm on the jingles. I'm going to get a workout here.
Could you make less effort, Joss Buttler?
Yeah, there wasn't anything on that, Al, was there? No leap, no reach. He just watched it go to the boundary. I guess that's the benefit of having 249 on the board.
That's the thing. It was a little bit of fuck it, we've won.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's not worth the injury.
Yeah, it's, what is it now? Coming up to 9 o'clock, it's too late for stretching as Hetmeyer just pushes that into the leg side for a single. But I mean, the problem the Windies are facing, they've gone at 10s almost, but with 250, I mean, what do they need? Another 198 off 14.3?
It's just relentless, isn't it? Because there was that, I mean, they didn't really pull it back, but there was that period when England slowed down. But at the end, when Bethel and Brooke pulled it out a little bit more, that just topped it up, didn't it?
Yeah,
so it was just hard. It's like go hard all the time at the moment, or fall behind.
There were a couple of overs of calm, and then it started raining again.
Yeah.
It looks like an evening for Dre Russ, who has his tracksuit on. As this time Wood goes very wide of leg stump, but Hope follows it, manages to get it to the man at short third, and it squirts away for a single. Bizarre bit of cricket. It's a leg by.
Yeah, it's smart by Wood though. I think he saw him going, and he followed him with his delivery. So Hope kind of like commits very early. I mean, he's almost off the strip by the time that he plays it.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who followed who, but you're right. Hope was definitely going, and Wood followed him. It wasn't a horrendous piece of bowling. It was just it was smart cricket.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the thing that Wood and Dawson have got in common, that they might lack X factor, but they've got smarts.
Well, they're wily vets, although he's picked up this time by Shimron Hetmeyer. I think he's got enough on that to clear the ropes. He does, so it's gone for 6 over fine leg. The umpire's not sure, but he's about to raise his hands, and so the way Windies putting a little partnership together here.
Yeah, it's good to see. I mean, the reality is they've got to score very quickly and not lose wickets, which is quite a hard conundrum to solve.
It's not easy, and if I forget, do keep reminding me that I'm the jingle man.
I'm the jingle man. I feel like you should get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that needs to be, maybe that can be one of our new t-shirts.
There you go, there's more merch. I think the slightly sad thing about bringing Wood back on is that Hetmeyer now has a helmet on. Beforehand, he was bare of head.
It's great to see, and that he has got a load of that over cow corner. He's come down the wicket.
Yeah,
it's gone out of the ground from Shimron Hetmeyer, so back-to-back sixes. He's made a really good start.
Yeah, well, the way this is going, one of these is going to end up in the Solent, because that was just ginormous.
Huge. And have we got anything on the socials, Al?
We do, Mayank. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Aussie time is perfect. Whenever Australia play a test at home in the winter, it starts at 6:30, 7 p.m. here. I love that timing for a test match. Eric J. watching live precipitation from England. Will Reynolds. Sam Curran is the facial manifestation of IBS. And Mayank has done some calculation. Run rate is down from 13.5 to 13.07. It's on.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a profitable over, and we're going to have a bit of Jacob Bethel into the attack.
Jacob Bethel's born in Barbados, now he plays for the English team. They say that he is an all-rounder, but that remains to be seen.
Right, I've just given a clip of his jingle because apparently it's a minute 48. He's going to start off round the wicket to Shy Hope. He's on the stumps and it's slashed out into the offside. They might get 2 to the man at deep extra, but yeah, they are going to get back for 2. Shimron Hetmar's fast between the wickets despite appearances that he's a little rotund.
Yeah, it feels like that jingle's maybe devised by someone who doesn't want to see a Bethel over, or doesn't want to hear about a Bethel over. I mean, maybe that's a common feeling. I don't know.
Well, he's getting more and more of them as England prepare for that World Cup in the subcontinent next year. He's on the stumps again. Hope rocks onto the back foot and plays it out to the man on the fence. I think it's Bryden Carse out there, and it's just one this time.
He does also, I was saying this the other night, but ever since he stopped bleaching his hair, he's got that kind of new serious look. Do you remember in Superman 2 when Superman gives up his powers and gets a slightly floppy haircut and a big puffy jacket? It feels like that kind of mood.
He's had a Superman glow up.
He's had a Superman real person.
I've got to say, I think the sort of the skunk getting rid of the blonde dash is a slight upgrade. We could do with losing the mullet altogether.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's the progression from county cricket to international cricket.
Yeah,
in county cricket, the bleach works beautifully, but you step up to the big boys' school, you got to lose it.
He's finding his feet on the international stage, and by next week, when he's picked in the test team or not, he's going to have a shaved head.
Yeah.
So he stays round the wicket to the left-handed Hetmar, who gets a piece of this. I'm not sure he's got enough of it, though. The man at long on is in play. It's straight into Ben Duckett's hands, and Bethel's in the wickets. England have their third. Oh, and that's me on the jingles again. Here we are.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at? Oh!
It's fascinating watching the deepening of the man crush that James has on Bethel.
I love Bethel.
He looks like he's going to have this man with the golden arm type effect in this sort of cricket.
He's that guy, isn't he? You can't work out how he's doing it.
Yeah.
But he'll always get you a wicket. Yeah, I mean, it just didn't travel enough, did it, by Hetmeyer?
I think Hetmeyer's looked at a couple from the non-strikers and going, I am going to have some of this.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
I wanted my strike rate to get a little bit accelerated.
Yeah, you are going 10 rows back. How am I out? How?
He decided he was going to go after everything, and one came not quite out of the middle. But some good news for the Windies. Shafane Rutherford is out in the middle.
We thought, because it might have been more cramped than a hamstring pull, but he looked like he was in a bad way in the field. It
looked very ugly. I'm not seeing his jingle. Shamar Joseph's here. Who's we got dinged on YouTube for using Rutherford's jingle, so I'll give you Shafane Rutherford. There we go.
Shafane.
That works. That's really, really well. Well, they need him now.
Yeah,
they need him now at 69 for 3.
He's been the form batter. Bethel comes over the wicket to him. He punts the first one short, extra cover. There's no run there. It's quick from Bethel up at 61 mph, and he's getting through this over all right. His overs are really useful for England. If they can make a fifth bowler out of Bethel and Jacks, it allows them to bat really deep.
Yeah, it really does. And do you think they're picking the side? Oh, I'll just stop.
As he just punts it out to the man at just behind, square on the offside. It's another dot ball.
Well, it feels like they're picking a side with the World Cup in mind, doesn't it? With so many spinners, only a couple of paces within it.
Absolutely.
super sensible.
It really is. This time it's defended again from Rutherford, but they managed to scamper a single, so he'll retain the strike. Wendy's 70 for 3 after 7. No, certainly I think you don't bowl Rashid in the 19th over at Bristol unless you're looking forward to something. So it's nice to see a bit of long-term thinking.
Do you think that was about selection then? Do you think that Rashid bowling the 19th over is down to only picking 2 seamers?
Well, partially, but I think also, Al, they're happy for the spinners to bowl tough overs because they know they're going to have to in India and Sri Lanka come March. So I think it's a bit of both. But I think, they seem to want Rashid and Dawson especially to bowl the hard overs so that Jackson Bethel can bowl the easy ones.
Well, talking of your man, he's just turned up.
Here he is. I'm back in work on the jingle box. I'm searching for his name, and it's eluding me. Here he is.
And Rashid on the 45. And Rashid on the 45. And Rashid on the 45.
And Rutherford goes after him first ball. He's down for the sweep. He hasn't got enough of it. Luke Wood has it at deep backward square. West Indies are 70 for 4, and they're starting to crumple in a heap.
Fuck. I mean, this is always going to happen, isn't it? You've got to play a big shot several times and over. A lot of them aren't going to come off against this quality of bowling from someone like Rashid. It's just slightly inevitable now.
It's tough out there.
The crowd says, the crowd says, the crowd says,
I hope the bear can hear me. Get your unders in.
I was just thinking the same, Al. I've been sleeping on them. That Hetmeyer little blast put me off a bit, but I'm back on them now.
Okay, let's go through a couple of messages. Lockie, while talking about Hetmeyer and Hope, these two if these two don't get out, it will all be fine.
That one aged well.
Dara Azizi, hi all. Hi Dara. Lockie then says, Duckett again, the man's a genius. He is a bit of a ball magnet in the field.
He is, yeah.
Suter, who I think thinks that Bethel misunderstood the principle of getting spotted. He thought it was in looks. Philip Nightingale, Bethel has a golden arm reminiscent of the late Tony Gregg.
Wow, we're going Gregg.
Or pick your. Was it Steve Waugh that he was the original golden arm?
Yeah. Steve, oh my God.
So Rashid now might have the right-handed. Rovman in trouble first ball. I think there was maybe a bit of bat on it. It squirted away down to third man, and they should come back for a couple.
Yeah, there's lots of double teapotting here.
Yeah,
he wants a review. He's trying not to say anything to the captain, but just influence on body language only.
He's not going to get it.
Yeah.
There was certainly some chat, and Rovman survived long enough for us to jingle him up. I don't think there was bad on it.
I think maybe they should have gone for a review there.
Yeah, that looked pretty good to me. This time Rovman gets behind the ball and defends it into the leg side.
Well, he tried to persuade Brook, but Brook was, maybe height actually.
I think
maybe it would have been umpires.
We're having a look here. I think it might have just been going over. It was. There was turn and bounce though there for Rash, and he saved himself a review. This time he's short and wide, and Rovman rocks back and slams it into the offside. It'll just be one though, straight to the fielder on the fence.
It's actually really interesting you're saying straight to the fielder there, because one of the distinguishing characteristics of England's innings was, certainly from Duckett, was the ability to manoeuvre the ball wherever the fielder just was previously, whereas the West Indies just seem to be steering it in the direction of the fielders far too often.
Yeah, absolutely. They do tend to be a team who deal in sixes rather than fours. This time, Hope takes it from well outside off stump into the leg side, but it's just one. So a good first over from Rash. Just a couple from it so far, plus the 2-leg buys.
It's all kind of happened around Shite Hope, hasn't it, in the last 2 or 3 overs?
Yeah, he's been starved of the strike, and now it's got to be that time where it's go after everything, isn't it? As Rovman just nudges that to the man at short mid-wicket. There's no run there. So at the end of the 8th, we're 74 for 4, and this game is rapidly falling out of West Indies' reach.
Eric J tells us that Man with the Golden Arm starred Frank Sinatra.
Oh, great film. Eric J, thank you so much for mentioning that. Otto Preminger, fantastic film.
Will Reynolds, Rash is fucking wonderful. See to who?
certainly
It
is.
annoys me that he refuses to bowl during the power play.
You can't have everything.
Tony, anyone at the Circus 10, please contact me and we'll send Can't Windies to perform at your 10.
As Bethel continues, Hope just pushes that into the offside for 1.
Hope here is giving me Thanos vibes. You remember Thanos in one of the Avengers films sighing and saying, "Oh, looks like I'm going to have to do it myself." It feels like Hope is shit. Like you said, Ali's down the other end, watching the kids fuck everything up. Oh, just as always. But Rodman Powell, he's a man who can hit the ball long and hit the ball hard. And Bethel is maybe a bowler who could offer that up.
I think he'll be liking the look of Bethel. He hits a clean, long ball, although it's turning away from him. He's happy just to nudge that into the offside. They should get through for 1, and they do. So just a couple of singles from Bethel's first 2, and every ball we go without a boundary, the equation gets harder and harder for the Windies.
Yeah, it's like a succession of tiny little figures kicking you in the balls. It doesn't really hurt, but over time it really hurts.
It starts to really hurt, and this time Hope's tried to manufacture something. He's gone onto the back foot and punted it straight, but it's gone straight out to Duckett at long off, so there'll just be another 1.
I was interested to hear what you were saying about Rashid and whether that was a deliberate ploy. It makes me feel it's a bit like Morgan, the way he used to deliberately make England do things they didn't want to do, to test them out, to put them in situations that they hadn't been in before so they'd be ready when the World Cup came along. I think if he is doing that, it's damn smart.
And this time Rodman goes for a big sweep, but he doesn't get anything on it. Bethel's turning towards the umpire looking for an LB.
There's a bit of after, therefore, because of it with that. All that stuff about what Morgan did as captain only makes sense because they won the World Cup.
It does look clearer in hindsight. But I mean, you know, opening with Dawson in the last 2 T20Is, this time Rodman gets it into a gap and it will race away to the boundary square on the offside. So a much needed 4 for the Windies.
Now my innings going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
I know what you're saying, Al, but I do think it is important for teams to be put into unusual pressure situations prior to a major tournament, whatever sport it is, so that when you're put into that situation in the tournament, you know what you're going to do.
As this time it's leg side-ish from Bethel. Rodman works it away out to the man at long on to end the over with a single, so the Windies are 82 for 4 after 9.
No, I totally agree, James. Totally agree. A couple of messages from Suter who Bethel gets some mighty bounce. It's like he's using a tennis ball, so probably overspin more than side spin.
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah.
Well,
It's a good shout.
It'd be interesting to kind of see that sort of side by side comparison of Bethel and Dawson's delivery out of the hand to kind of see what that looks like, because Dawson's really turned it over the course of the whole 3-game series.
He really has. I mean, the wicket he got tonight was because he got turned immediately.
As Rush continues for his second over, it's really short, but Rodman comes down to meet it. He taps it straight to the man at short mid-wicket, thinks about a single, but just gets back before the ball is into Josh Buttler.
Yeah, they're in that problematic situation, the West Indies now, where even if the ball isn't there to be hit, you feel as though you've got to do something different to get it there. So we had him strolling down the track there, not getting quite right, and then stuttering back. But this one's a bit better.
Yeah, this time he stays in his crease, he stands and delivers. He absolutely slams it over long on. It's into the stands for a 6, and Rodman is up and running.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6.
I mean, I think that's it. That is it, isn't it? That he should just set himself. This is the trouble. When you're trying to make things happen, you start moving around unnecessarily, where you just got to stick what you can do and actually just hammer it, which is what he did there.
It went about 3/4 of the way up into the stand, and there was the way that it thudded into the steps.
It's full again from Rash, and Rovman does the same. He rocks back and pumps it straight to the boundary for 4 this time. He's found a bit of timing.
That went like a tracer bullet.
But yeah, we saw the same with Harry Brooks' innings, didn't we? That he was sort of trying to shuffle around and create something and just couldn't get it going. And sometimes just standing and watching the ball on a good pitch is the way to go.
Long off was what, maybe 3-4 yards away from that?
Yeah.
No chance.
chance.
No chance.
It went like an exocet. He's got timing, but bloody hell has he got some strength as well.
Got real power, does Rovman. Apparently he runs 100 metres in 10 seconds flat as well. As this time he carves it away behind square on the offside, and he's got another boundary, so this is a really good over for the West Indies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think we're going to have a change in the next after a couple of balls.
We are, but the delicacy of that shot was really fantastic to see after the power display of the previous two.
Well, he's kind of manoeuvred Rashid into doing that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Forced him to go wider. And a bit of proper cricket. He ends them over with a forward defence. So 10 overs gone. Oh no, we've still got one ball to come.
Just one more. But it was a proper Lord's Cricket Manual forward defence there, in that way that cricketers always do, where you score a 4 or 6, do a forward defence and get a round of applause.
Rovman's eyes are on Rash.
Yeah.
He goes full. It's a full toss, but he just tickles it into the leg side. They won't come back for a second, I don't think. No, just a single. So 97 for 4 after 10. Windies needing... God, I can't even do that maths. They need a shitload off 10 overs, and it'll be fantastic if they get it.
152.
So some people are better at arithmetic than I am. Welcome back, Messrs.
Thank you.
Am I hanging around?
Yes, you are.
Cheers, James.
Thank you, Al. Thank you, James. We'll catch you during the test match.
Your next message is Lockie's.
Thank
after
you.
the 2 from Suter Hoochie.
Okay. Being total... excuse me. Being total crap is no guarantee of failure, but it is a strong indicator. Says Lockie.
It's a good precursor. Definitely.
Paul Stratton says, thank God for our spinners. Quicks are too short and brainless.
Well, there was a very interesting stat early on when they showed the pace of the bowling and the scoring rates for above 75 miles an hour and below 75 miles an hour. It's almost double for faster bowlers.
Yeah, pace on's gone, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And George McPherson is with us. He says, come on, England, make West Indies play for their runs.
And it's also very interesting that they've gone into the match with 4 potential slow bowlers, England, and the Windies have only had 2.
Just Moti and Hussain.
Yeah.
No Roston Chase tonight.
So you're not missing any play, by the way. We're in the advert break, or the mid-innings sip of water break, or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, we're seeing clips of the Isle of Wight festival. I suppose the one thing the Windies have got going for them is they've got a really long batting lineup still. Who have we got? Holder, Moti, Hussain. Someone else decent to come. Romario Shepherd, who hits a really long ball.
Joseph.
Yep, even Alzari Joseph can swing a bat. So they might still hold out a little bit of hope that if they can get some momentum going with a couple of big overs, you never do know.
They need more than a couple of big overs. I mean, 15 and over is a fuck of a lot.
It is a hell of a lot, Messi.
And a lot of the big bangers have kind of tried and perished.
Yes, I mean, you can't blame them either, because when you're facing that sort of total, you have to hope that the luck's going to go with you when you try it.
So I am anticipating a potential flurry of wickets in my 5-over stint.
I think you might be right, Jace. Looks like it could be Liam Dawson coming back into the attack.
Yes. Yep, there's definitely a left arm round, isn't it? It is Liam Dawson. He's 1 over, has gone for 10 so far. Tried and seasoned county and international performer. And bowls a flat dart, pretty much like middle stump, which Powell punches out to wide mid on.
Rovman's got that look in his eyes that he wants to get after everything.
He wants to muscle every ball, as we've shown in the first innings with Harry Brook. That doesn't always work out well. And Dawson is a canny operator. And he comes in. That's a bit shorter this time, and it's hit up and over, rising off the back foot. And has it found the punch? Oh, that's a really good piece of fielding by, is that Brook?
I
or
think
Cars?
I think it was Cars out there, Jace. Yeah,
Yes.
it was indeed. And
Who ran 20 yards to his right, and put out a long hand to stop the ball and restrict them to only 2 runs.
Yeah, it was a nice shot from Shy-Hope. He really manufactured that width, didn't he? Right off middle stump.
Dawson, shorter and faster, and that's reverse swept. Doesn't get a single. There's good fielding at backward point there. The ball is in and out of Duckett's hands quickly to prevent the run.
And every dot ball's a dagger to the heart right now.
Yeah, you need 2 a ball, and
2.5.
Slower and floated up a bit, and all that Hope can do is punch it back. He doesn't quite have the power. He's more of a timer of the ball, Hope. And so if you go, that's going to succeed. He has to hit it past people, not through people.
Yeah, he's a lovely player, but he's the sort of the glue that the blasters bat around, isn't he?
Dawson, again, that's shorter, and Hope gives it the long handle, and good effort by is that Bethel, but he can't stop the ball. He's got to the ball, he's over the boundary, he's just tried to flick it back inside, but unfortunately the ball stuck to his hand.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
So here's a question I don't know the answer to. When a ball's bouncing over, so we know we have this with the 6s, but when a ball is bouncing over the boundary, it's only a 4. Can a fielder retrieve it from outside the boundary with not having touched the ground outside the boundary?
Yes, you can. Quick single there from Hope. Punch to cover, and he ran on the run. The fielders picked it up and thrown down the stumps, but they're over in time. That concludes the 11th over.
Eric J takes us from a meaningless cricket match to a meaningless football match to report that Senegal are now leading them 2-1.
Yes, the bear is engaged on the in the green room.
Well, green is the colour of Senegal. It makes them slightly difficult to see against the green of the pitch. Sudahu says big bangers, sausages. Lockie says we need Mutley.
Woof, we definitely do.
And Mark confirms, yes, Messi, because the ball hasn't yet bounced outside the boundary, therefore it's still in play and can be stopped. But if the ball hits the boundary,
it's 4 or
it's
6.
4, so it sucks.
I'm with you, Messers. I lost a bet on that exact thing the other day, and I was calling for a rule change.
Yeah, it's stupid.
We're going to have pace on from the
Because
other
I've got some bounce on it rather than I've hit it flat, I don't get the runs. That's nuts. That's nuts.
It's going to be Big Bryden lumbering in, and that's a fantastic piece of cricket by Hope. He's just swiveled it, turned his body around, played it over slip as a sort of little dink, and that's gone all the way.
The number of the day really hops and kicks. The number of the day is 666.
Gorgeous little reverse scoop. Just after we were criticising his power, he pumped one through extra cover, and now he's showing a bit of touch as well.
But that wasn't power, that was finesse.
Pure poise.
And that's what he needs to do. He needs to hit it into areas of the pitch where finesse works for him.
He's gone again.
And he's got it again, not so well this time. This is flatter and quicker. He tried to put the bowler off by jumping around in the crease, but he's got enough on the bat, just past the man on 45. And this one's 4. So setting a little bit of a problem here for Cast. What's he going to do to respond to that?
Yeah, 10 off the first 2, and you think he's got to either go wide or short. He can't keep bowling it good length because Hope's getting a piece of him.
I think it's going to be shorter. No, he's bowled a length ball.
And
Hope's opened up his body and flayed that over extra cover in a very more traditional manner, one-day manner, for 4.
The number of the day. Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
Well, Hope has definitely got his game face on here and he's winning the battle this over.
Yeah, and it just starts to shift the momentum a tiny bit and might give the Windies just a glimmer of hope.
Yep. Well, they need more than a glimmer of
They
hope.
need
They need
more
a lot more of hope.
Yep, they need a whole slice of hope and a bit of Powell too, but 14 off the first 3 is a good start.
So, Cast, what are you going to do? I think the short ball's going to be, yep.
Yep, and he gets the dot.
Yep. Tried to reverse again. Didn't quite catch up with it this time. It was the obvious ball to bowl, which is why I think Hope was ready for it, but just a little bit closer to the batsman and a bit shorter and sails past the edge of the bat to Buttler.
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder to play that reverse scoop when it's bouncing, isn't it?
Which is why I think he should always go short in those situations rather than and vary his pace rather than bowl a length ball or a wide ball potentially. Anyway, he's got 2 more balls to bowl in this over. Windies 190 for 4, and that one's gone straight up in the air. Can that be caught? Yes, nice and easy for Buttler. He's barely had to move. He's backed away to leg, tried to fiddle the ball away. It's hit the splice of the bat and gone straight up, and that's the end of Hope.
Quite literally.
On your right, mate.
Both personally and probably for the team as well.
Eric J makes an interesting point about the football. He says it's not meaningless for Senegal, as no African team has ever beaten England, Messi. Oh, thank you for that, Eric.
No, I do remember the last time it got really quite nervously close, which was 1990, Cameroon. And we were 2-1 down and got away with 2 dodgy Lineker penalties to win the match in the quarterfinals of the World Cup.
Oh, let me jingle up our new batter. Here he is.
Not heard that one before. Anyway, short by Cast. He's get a real head of steam now, but Romario Shepherd plays a half-hearted attempt really to pull to that one. Saw it was getting big and just basically bailed out of the shot. That's the end of the over.
Paul Stratton says, thank God Tutchell has the Midas touch. Embarrassing. Did Minus play in midfield for Swansea, says Kieran. Come on, England, get another wicket or 2, says George McPherson. You're a very demanding man, George. Lockie6 says, ironically, glimmer is almost always associated with no fucking hope at all. And in this case, it's literally what we have.
Rashid going to bowl his second over. First over gone for 17. Sorry, third over. Two overs have gone for 17 so far. Doing his little nervous from one ball to the other. And that's on Powell's pad. Just worked into the leg side. Man on the 45 comes round and fields the ball. They take a single. West Indies are 120 for 5.
And I reckon Romario won't be hanging around here. He hits a really long ball, and I wonder if he might get hold of Rash.
The big question is, can he pick his googly? Because goes back on his stumps. Shepherd tries to work the ball round the corner. The man on the 45 is in quickly to prevent the run there. as we watch a replay of the Hope wickets.
Yeah, Cast fancied the return and pulled out late.
Yeah. Rashid floated up. That's a nice leg spinner. Given the opportunity to spin the ball out of the pitch, Shepherd plays a ball without real conviction into the covers.
Yeah, bit of restraint from Romario. He didn't try and get a hold of it.
We can't do that for very long. And that's straight back to the bowler. But just short of him. I thought that might just carry the way he played it. He was on his back foot. And it's dropped about 4 feet in front of him.
Yeah, it didn't get anything on it. And this time...
This one's been caught though. This one has popped off the deck. And it's gone to Brook at the short cover. Rashid has his wicket. And I think West Indies are cooked.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at? Oh!
Leah says, come on, collapse already. I want to go to bed.
That's a great catch. He's made a lot of ground to that diving forward.
Yeah, those are really not easy where you're diving forward. He's taken that very well, Harry Brook. And it's a sad end to a pretty sorry tour by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Rich Turner Music is with us. Hello, Rich. He says, I'd rather he didn't pick his googly. It's a disgusting habit.
Yes. Very good.
So, Rich, are you coming back up to London on the 16th for the next book launch, which is Vic Marks's book, is being launched at the same place as Annie Chaves was launched?
I will be there. I'm hoping we'll have several gorillas there.
It's my intention to be there, and I'm hoping to interview Annie that day as well.
Well, the new batsman has finally arrived at the crease.
And let me jingle him up big. Jason Holder, where are you on my jingle list? Here he is.
Jason Holder. Jason
Going to need all of his long reach and long levers. There's a slip in, and that's swished very nicely through the covers, and the boundary fielder prevents 2. That's the end of the 13th over. West Indies are 1-2-1 for 6 now.
Lucky 6. I think he's jumped the shark, actually. He says, stop the game now. Bring out the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders for a 10-over game of nude cricket. Just a thought. You're warming up well with your all-night drinking in preparation for the World Test Championship final, Lockie, I've got to say. Kieran Roseblade says, being realistic, West Indies could have stayed at home. Yeah, well, we all could have.
Had a training camp for the Australians. Anyway, after 1 over of Cast, Dawson is going to resume. Cast has done his job, and he's been whipped out of the attack straight away.
Impact bowler, isn't he, Jason? Dawson comes back for his 3rd.
And that's down the leg side. I'm not sure he's got a tickle on that, but that's gone all the way to the boundary. Is that going to be byes or wides? It's going to be wides.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Just got the line a little bit wrong there, and that's beaten everybody.
Yeah, he's unlucky there, isn't he, Dawson? He's trying to fire it into the pads, but just got a little too leg side-ish.
He doesn't want to get Holder to open up the body at all and give a chance to swing his arms.
Absolutely. Last thing you want to be is in his arc. We saw how dangerous he could be the other night.
So again, that's a better ball. That's angling in, fired into the front pad. Holder tries to work the ball round it, but can't catch up with it in time. It thuds into the pad, into the leg side, and there is no run.
It's been a pretty impressive return to international cricket from Liam Dawson.
Yep, and slower ball. Holder goes onto the back foot and defends and just pushes the ball back to Dawson. with his 126 for 16, a further 123 in about a third of the time they had to start with. And he's come down the wicket, and that's tattooed that ball back to Dawson, and he's smashed him on the hand. He's wincing a little bit, but he's walking back to his mark.
That was hit very hard. I would have been running out of the way of that one. Wasn't a million miles away from the crown jewels either.
Yeah, it's just a little bit lower, not too far away from the kneecap either, to be fair.
Oh, it's a horrible one to get slammed back at you.
And the next ball is almost a repeat. This time he gets more on the ball, more flesh on the ball, and managed to stop it. But a run does not ensue.
Just a notification to Kieran Roseblade. It'll take a super chat for me to read that one out.
Well, it's a batter's game, isn't it? Who'd be a bowler? Certainly not Ben Duckett, eh, Messrs?
Nope.
Well, he isn't.
Yeah, I think the appropriate word in that is yet. There's still an opportunity. His international career is not over by any stretch of the imagination.
His batting career is not. His bowling is.
Oh, that's harsh. We've got to have Ben Duckett the captain after Harry Brook eventually. Anyway, last ball of this over. Sorry, penultimate ball of this over. Short and rocked back and pumped through mid-wicket to Bethel, but it's only a single.
It's one of those situations now that's really tough as a batter, isn't it? Where you know the game's gone.
You're in a lose-lose situation. Do you stick or do you twist and go all out? You can't. There's no winner in this for you. You've just got to try and see what happens. Anyway, that's short, and that's pummeled by. And that's a great catch by Duckett.
No, it's not close.
Ooh. I thought he'd made that, but he's just slid in, and that probably just got that on the.
Just on the half volley.
Yep. As Dawson walks away, still looking at his paw.
Richard Turner Music says he wasn't aware of Vic Marks' book launch, and he's pretty much spent out for the month, having indulged myself thoroughly at Taunton for the women's fixture. Yes. I was a bit shocked when I went to Taunton and to watch Taunton playing Sussex, and to be still charged £9 for entry after tea, which I thought was a bit much. In Northampton, Brian told me that admission after tea is free, which I think is a very good thing.
It's free after tea in Surrey as well.
Yeah.
And I think it might be at Lord's, but I'm not absolutely
sure. I think it
sure.
is, Jace.
Right. Over 15. Bethel is going to come in, and that is bowled onto the bat, and as a result Holder gets the opportunity to use all his long levers, and that's sailed over long on, and the man on the boundary in the seats has, I think, caught that but managed to go over the seats at the same time.
He's stuck, they can't get him back up.
He's got his neck caught, I think.
I've never seen anything like it. Well, it was one of these anyway.
I'm not sure that's great technique by the catcher there.
No, and the cameras have
hands down, not hands up,
pointedly swayed away from the crowd while that man recovers some of his dignity.
Anyway. Yeah.
And that is the exact reason why if the ball comes towards me in a busy crowd, I'm not interested. I'm out of the way.
Well, no, it's the man in front of you who goes like that and then punches the ball straight into your eye.
Unless there is sponsorship involved. You know,
well, sorry,
if it's a $10,000 catch.
Then I'm going for the one-hander messes.
Yeah.
But if it's no reward, I'm getting well out of the way.
Yeah.
The worry is with white balls in a 50-over match, say at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you won't see it until it hits you.
Well, they can come towards you.
Well, the good news is he's fully recovered.
All he's lost is a bit of pride.
Yeah.
Yeah, good whack of pride, but he's back up the right way.
He certainly looks like he got enough padding so he hasn't hurt himself. As Bethel waits.
We're going to get it in slow-mo now. He dropped it, and then he just went over.
Whoa. Whoa! Fuck, he fell over 3 rows of chairs.
It could have been pretty nasty, that.
Yep. Much like what I did on Thursday out of here.
England just equalised, by the way.
And the next ball is spilled at long on by
Will Jacks, I think it was.
Will Jacks. It was dying on him. He was coming forward to dive forward, but that was a catch I was expecting him to probably take. He's got 2 hands to it, and it's just popped out as he's just about to hit the deck.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but you think he should have taken it. Just as I've been riding the under, Jacob Bethel comes back on and drop catches start going down.
It's a position now of who cares except those who have bets on.
Powell flicks it over Josh Buttler. There's no man on the 45 and that ball just scuttles away into the boundary for a welcome boundary.
I suppose 109 off 5.5 overs is not impossible.
Certainly not. But England would have to have a collective brain fade, I think.
Yeah.
Powell sets up again. He's on 29 off 19. He's batted quite well, but he's not had that much of a strike. And Bethel bowls the ball wide, and Powell throws the bat at it, goes square to the cover fielder on the boundary.
Yeah, he's shown a nice range, Rodman, hasn't he, JC? He's very strong down the ground, but we saw that flick behind square on the leg side, a couple of nice cuts on the offside.
Yeah. He's got some deft touches as well as the power. Anyway, and that one is power on this time, and that one sailed just over the boundary, almost into the cricket pod. Will Jacks trying his hardest to stop that from going for 6, but he has not succeeded.
Six.
Well, a very decent over for the Windies, but too little too late.
Yeah.
And slightly ominous sign for England, though, if they're going to be relying on overs from Bethel moving forward.
Short, and all Holder does is dink it round the corner and scamper a quick 2 as we hear the bear go ballistic in the green room for something that's happened in the football match. And that's at 15th over.
I bet you it involves VAR. Yes, England had their second goal disallowed, apparently. Eric J tells us. And the bear has just totally... what's the words that with SpaceX use? He's had...
rapid unscheduled disassembly.
Yes, the bear has had a rapid unscheduled disassembly. A RUD. So the bear is... you're due back on, I think, Bear, aren't you? I think you should be able to share it with the world, your happiness or otherwise.
Shall we make sense in his absence? Here he comes.
Yeah, the bear is on ball by ball and rants. Jason is on socials, and Al is on comments. And I'll catch you in a couple of days' time for the second day of the test match.
Oh, we've got to change the screen set. That's an outrage, but that ball's been slapped out to deep long off for one of these. This game is done.
Yeah.
1.
What do they need?
2.
About 90.
3.
Yep. Off.
4.
How many overs? 5.
5.
Yeah.
4.
Well,
nearly 20 and over.
Well, the thing is that they've been going at 10 and over. You know, if they keep on going at the rate they're going, they're going to score 200, and they've not had a shot.
No, exactly. Well, you know, Rodman Powell slaps another one. This time down the same place. And again, it will be 4 more. Is the screen set right?
No, it's not.
Messi, can you put the screens right? Thank you very much. Bryden Cast. Whenever pace is on, the ball goes to the boundary, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Did you just see that disallowed goal?
No.
No.
That's a fucking disgrace. It's
What
come
was
over-
it disallowed for?
Well, so it's come over the top of the defender. He's gone out for a header at a corner. Missed the defender. I think it's Brendan Rodgers or Gibbs White. Is coming in behind. He kind of swivels like that because it looks like he's going to hit him in the face. Hits him on the top of the... Well, whatever. That's fucking ridiculous. Powell has a big swing, no ding. Goes through to Buttler, no run.
Paul Stratton says, you can't get too carried away as West Indies are not that good. We need quicks to take wickets. Arsenal at the moment are far too short and will be just destroyed by a good side.
Yeah, but pace goes. I mean, look, England in that series against India and in the ICC Champions Trophy went with pace. I mean, it's the wrong place in the world to go with pace, to be fair. But pace does go, and batters these days.
And Kieran Roseplace asked a question. My 150 all out wasn't a terrible guess. Is there anyone in GPL?
Well, England got. So what are we on at the moment? Well, we got. How many did we get? 248.
248.
So we're on 405 at the moment. Make that 411. That one is swatted over the leg side for 6.
Cast does seem unwilling to learn from previous deliveries and just continues to bowl back of a length.
Just bowl single balls. Bowl balls to allow him to get a single.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the problem with your pace, though. I mean, what's that? Top of off stump at this level, that still goes. I mean, what do you bowl? What do you bowl?
Just a little fuller.
Well, a little fuller just gets hit back over your head for 4 as well on a true pitch at this. And that's the problem with T20. I mean, everyone's just happy to have a swing. You might get a wicket or two. The last ball's just hit for a single, and there is a single. They end on 164 for 6 after the 16th over.
Lockie 6 says, this white ball whitewash by England makes him overwhelming favourites to crush Australia in the Ashes. There's no tongue-in-cheek at all in that statement.
I was going to say. Not sure that's the case.
And Mike says, the Sky Sports commentary pod is too close to the ground. Almost smashed them in the face. Yes, well, that is the joy and wonder of T20 cricket. When Sky are broadcasting is the pod is always in range.
Ooh, the moon looks good tonight. Very large.
Lockie 6 says, Bear reassemble.
Congratulations to Australia for qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup with a 2-1 win over Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow. Oof.
So the Socceroos will be back again.
Yep.
Well, they might go out in the first round, Messi. But I mean, there are about 600 teams in that one, so you never know. There's an appeal, a big swing, no ding from Powell. As Dawson's going to bowl out, but it didn't catch any bat.
He's just injured all the air around him. Yeah. it was a pretty furious effort.
It's fairly violent, that wasn't it, for little effect.
It was indeed. Dawson around the wicket again. Tosses that one up, should be out. Oh no, I think it's dropped just short of Cass, who's at point on the 30-yard circle.
If you tried to hit the ball too hard, would you close your eyes?
If you try to hit it too hard?
Yeah.
You might do, some people would, certainly.
Feels like that would be a natural byproduct.
Dawson around the wicket. Down the track comes Powell. Gets it on the full. Can only chunk it up to long on. Gets a single.
It's quite well bowled by Dawson. I think he saw him coming and fired it in.
Yeah, fired it in. Low full toss, never easy to hit. Someone like Cass might try and bowl Yorkers. I don't know if he's any good at Yorkers.
Apparently we're having problems with the audio on air.
Really? On what?
I don't know. They're just saying audio dead, no audio. Roseblade saying, "No, we're missing Bear's rant."
What do we know audio? Hold on. Take over.
Yeah.
Okay. So halfway through the 17th over, 165 for 6.
We're back. Apparently, we're back.
Oh, we're back, and Holder has hit this high, wide, and handsome, and it's gone over long on, and that will be 6 runs.
6.
Someone have
And
flipped off the
thankfully,
layer
no
that the
injuries in the
audio's
crowd.
on.
Kieran Roseblade says, "What do we want? Rant. When do we want it? Now."
We scored yet?
Mike says, "Give us the rant again. I think you'll have to listen back."
It's 3-1. Oh, fuck. We're going to lose to an African side for the first time ever. Thankfully, it's only a friendly and it doesn't mean anything. That one's played up to mid-off, long off for a single.
And Mike asked a question for us. It says, "Will you guys be back tomorrow 10:30 a.m. for day one of the World Test Championship final?"
Certainly are. Looking forward to that. 10:30 it starts, yeah, so we'll be on at 10:20. Dawson around the wicket, and I'll be glad to get out. I think he's just nailed Holder at the
To be fair, there is a lot of Holder to miss.
Yeah, there is. I think he's got him in a particular place that might really hurt as well, and he hit that fucking hard, man. He's got a smile on his face. I don't know why.
That's because he's got a box.
It got him quickly. That's what it did.
Oh my word, he has.
That's
He's
right in his
fucking
chest, isn't it?
No, I think he's got him right in the nuts, hasn't he?
It's right in the unmentionables.
Oh yeah, sorry. A bit lower than his chest. Sorry about that.
It's flush on middle stump.
Jesus. And he's just standing there. He's got a decent box. Maybe he's got 2.
Moral and ethical question. If he'd have gone down like a sack of spuds outside his crease, would you have run him out?
No. Yes. No, because you're going to win anyway.
Yeah, no, in this situation I wouldn't have done.
I would have ripped the stump out of the ground.
Mike says, let's say New Zealand are in the World Cup now thanks to an automatic spot for Oceania, which is going to be much more fun to watch. So Australia and New Zealand.
Just feel like everyone's in that World Cup though.
It's 45 teams on there.
48. And the next one will be 64, I think.
That's ridiculous.
Oh.
Got hold of that one as Jason Holder. Length Wood coming over the wicket. Oh no, he hasn't. He's been caught in the deep by Bryden Carr, so I thought he'd nailed that right out of the ground, but he nailed it very high in the sky and not very far. Luke Wood gets Jason Holder 172 for 7. This game is faltering, but hey.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Oh, the Papers will have a field day with that one, won't they?
Yeah.
From what I saw, England playing quite well as well, but Senegal will beat hitting us on the break.
No.
Anyway, Kieran Roseblade says, "Is there any other way to play cricket? I always shut my eyes."
Never shut your eyes.
Is that when you're bowling or batting?
And Nick Vicker says, Uzbekistan and Jordan have also reached the World Cup for the first time.
Who?
Uzbekistan and Jordan.
Oh, well, I mean, that's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
We support minnows.
Yeah, so minnows is fine, but 32 and you can still have some fucking minnows. I mean, let's face it, how many times... The only 2 continents that have ever won a World Cup are Europe and South America.
Yeah.
South America haven't won... Oh, no, they won the last one, actually.
They haven't won since
last
2022.
Time. Yeah.
Lockie says, "It's safe to say that New Zealand will never win the Football World Cup. Ever.
Yeah.
We do rugby.
Yeah, that's true. You can win that a lot of times.
And you do cricket as well, rather well, but you don't win World Cups in it.
No. You get to the final a lot, though. That one's played up to long on. It'll be a single. But out of the last 6 World Cups, Europeans have won it, 5 out of the last 6, I think?
Yep.
So how far back does 6 World Cups go?
24 years. This century.
2000.
So 2002 was Brazil, wasn't it?
Yes.
Brazil didn't win it, though,
in Japan.
Oh, did they win it in Japan?
Yeah, it was very...
Okay, maybe I'm just talking bollocks. Nothing unusual about that. That one's flapped at by Robin Powell. He's doing a decent effort, but he's still only going at 150. He gets the toe end up to mid-off, and there's no run.
2006 is Italy. 2010 is Spain.
2014 is France? No.
No, 2002 was France. No,
1998 was
1998 was France.
Germany won it in Brazil.
Germany won it in 2014.
So that would be 2018. Would be the one before the last one.
Which was France.
Was France again? Yeah. That one's gone up in the air. It's been caught by Jacks. Moti trying to give it a big flog. Just managed to spoon it up in the air. Will Jacks comes in, and it's another wicket.
Batter, batter, batter. Batter, batter, batter. Batter, batter, batter. On your bike, mate.
Unsurprisingly, that holder delivery has brought up a lot of comment on the messages. Mike says that's absolutely nuts. Kieran Roseberry says straight to the crotch. That's why we tuned in. More of that, please.
Yeah.
And Suter Who says surprised he didn't deflect for 4.
Well, it hit him square. I'm surprised he didn't have to get a change of box. Actually, I'm not sure it would have cracked it.
Everyone just carried on regardless, which seemed inappropriate given given the pace at which it hit him.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's top edge by Moti. Good catch by Will Jacks down there.
Yeah. And Mog says, after Nick Vickers says, New Zealand were the only unbeaten team in the 2010 World Cup. So Australia have qualified for the soccer thing. Shit, that means the country will now start to care about it again. Right up until we get effed out in the first round.
What I don't get about football is whenever they get sent to have a look at the screen, they have to reverse the decision. No one ever has the balls to say, very rarely do they have the balls to say, no, actually I was right, it was a goal. That one's worked round the corner of the man on 45, and it will be, did I go through for a single? Well, no, because it's an advisory, Messi. It's we think you may have to have a look at this, but that's clearly within the rules. If you look at that,
yeah, they could turn around and say,
no.
right.
I am God. I am correct. I'm never wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Something they're doing for the rugby, the games against the Lions games.
That one's just played out to covers. There's no one in the covers. There is a man out in the deep. I think it's Will Jacks again. It'll be a single.
So you know a yellow card is a sin bin, 10 minutes.
Yes.
If you get given a red card, it's 20 minutes. You're not sent off for the rest of the game.
Yep, that's the current thing that they're trialling.
Yeah. I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
No, I think if you get sent, I think in rugby you should be able to be sent off. You know, it's a dangerous tackle.
No, you can still get sent off for the duration if you get. There are 2 classes of red cards, one with 20 minutes and one for the whole game.
I mean, that's just going to confuse people. He's
yes,
got a red
does.
Card. What is he off or is he in the sin bin for 20 minutes? That's bollocks. Just have a double yellow or something. I don't know, but I mean, if you want to have an extended, but I don't see that. Look, if you've done something bad enough, you're either sin binned or you're off. If it's really bad, you're off, and if it's accidental but still dangerous, then you should be sin binned.
Well, there's a whole pile of arguments about how to depower the game of rugby to make it.
Yeah, stop people going to fucking gyms. That one is hoiked over the leg side by Rodman Powell. Gets himself. Oh no, he doesn't take a single. I don't think.
Well, we could see him get to 50.
Yeah, well, I think he wants to get a 50.
Well, one of them is to have less substitutes rather than more, so that people are forced to play longer and therefore have to manage their resources accordingly.
Well, but the problem. Well, he's still going to be allowing people for injuries. There's so many fucking injuries anyway already. That one is cut really nicely by Powell. He'll
That'll
probably
be
get back
50.
for 2, and that will be his 50. He's batted okay, but
he's batted very well.
178. Some other games might be a decent score, but here it's massively under par.
I like this from Kieran. He's come in with an answer for this.
Okay, go for it.
He says the GAA, the Irish Gaelic sport, or Gaelic sport rather than Gaelic
sport, I like that.
Have a black card for cynical or deliberate foul instead of 2 different types of red card.
Yeah.
Feels like it needs a third colour.
That one is hauled, and nearly an amazing catch out on the boundary by Banton, I think it is. But it was flat, and in fact, it is one of these. Robin Powell.
Smack it in the air, beyond the boundary. Smack it in the air.
And
it's 50, and you know that can't be bad. Yeah, it's 50, and you know you should be glad.
And we're still waiting to see what the rule is that's going to be the change on boundary catches.
Yeah.
Even though surely it can only be the one thing that
you must take off within the field of play.
Do you think it's only going to be that? That one's played out into the offside. He'll get himself back 4-2, does Powell. I assumed it's going to be if it goes over the plane of the boundary, it's 6, and you can't have these fantastic catches over the boundary, which would be a little bit of a shame, but it's common sense, to be fair. If the ball's over the boundary...
Are they citing that as a safety issue?
I have no fucking idea, to be honest. That's down the leg side from
there's got to be
Rashid around the wicket. It'll be a wide.
There's got to be a reason why they will make playing areas smaller, and that's going to be one of them.
Because I haven't seen anyone get injured taking one of those catches.
No, I haven't either. So that shouldn't be it. But I mean, it's just madness. You shouldn't be able to catch someone over the boundary. It's just an anomaly of the sport, really. We're going to have a run out? No. Buttler misses the stumps as it's come off the pads of Rodman Powell out towards the short third man. Hossain pulled Akil.
Well, this 19th over by Rashid is going for a bit less than the last one.
Yeah, it doesn't really
Couldn't
matter.
Go for more.
Well, it could have done,
but it's not likely to.
He's done that twice now in 2 games.
I know.
Short-armed it. It's your job
to take the bails. Exactly.
Hit the stump.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. But hey ho, Rashid comes in last ball of his spell. Oh, there's a googly, and Hossain just lets it through to the keeper, and there is no run. 19 done, 1 over to go. West Indies should be able to, resign like you can in chess, as I keep saying at this point, because they need 52.
Am I allowed to say Zugzwang at this point?
Zugzwang.
Zugwang.
Yeah, so in chess, when you have a forced move, but the forced move leads to checkmate, that's called Zugzwang.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
Eugene Larkin says, in rugby, a double yellow is a full red. Yes, it is. Mike says, in the Norwegian League, a ref was referred to VAR 4 times. He decided to not reverse his decision 3 separate times. Only time I've ever seen that.
Well, that's good. You should stick to your fucking decisions.
Nick Vicker says, with the 20-minute red, I don't think the player who received it can come back on. I think it has to be a substitute.
Oh.
In which case...
What's the fucking point?
And Mog says...
that feels like
Mog shouts, "Speak up, Messi! I can't barely hear you shouting in the background." Well, you hear him even less now, because I think he's gone to the kitchen.
No, maybe he's gone home. There's not much happening here. Powell is going to face the last over. Carter's going to bowl it. He's gone for 40 and 3. First ball is bunting out through the covers. Going to get 1. Is he going to bother running? No, I don't think he has.
You should do.
Well, it doesn't matter, does it?
Kieran Roseblade sums up the boundary decision quite well. He says, I just saw a guy get hit in the plums and not injured. Jumping over a rope isn't that dangerous in comparison, surely.
Exactly. Well, Carter's bowled a noble. Carter's been pretty poor at T20, it has to be said.
Considering that they need more than 50 from the last over, Harry Brook should turn around and take the ball off him and give the final over to somebody else.
That's a criminal no
Let
ball.
Duckett bowl it. Even if he goes for 36, it's not
That's
going to
gone.
matter, is it? That's a fucking great hit. He's kind of stood in his crease, and to be fair, Carter's bowled it into his pads at a reasonable height.
It's in his arc.
I suppose it is in his arc, but he didn't move his feet, just turned his wrist, flicked it over deep square leg, gets a 6.
I keep on forgetting with
Kind of flick the wrists and just hit it.
Yeah, but I keep on forgetting that with 3 hits, the batsman can change, but the field can't.
Yep. That's an outside edge. Squirts it out past point. He's going to get 4 for that ugly shot. But hey, it's 4.
I'm looking over a 4.
Well, what are they on? 199.
You're getting closer than I thought they would.
Yeah.
Listen, like I said, they've been going at 10 and over, so. And it would have been interesting.
4. What did we get?
248.
So currently, it's on 447.
Yes.
They need 4 dot balls and Hombre Nuevo will win.
Oh my God!
That's come on, bowl him out. Bowl him out now. Come on, 2 wickets. It's the only way we'll do it.
Cast in. Well,
that's gone on a dot ball.
4 runs. Sorry, Hombre. Nearly. Not a bad guess though. It was a high guess, but he got it. Well, that's that one done. 4 runs, 2 more to Robin Powell. 72 or 41. Just needed some other people to stick with him, really, didn't he? I suppose Shy Hope batted okay, but pretty much everyone else has done not a lot.
Yeah, top of the middle order really kind of failed around these pairs.
A couple of lusty blows here and there, but not a lot else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can open the GPL tonight if you like. No one ever enters till the game starts, though, Messi. Well, yeah, but you'll be here. No, you won't be here. Is this just for you? Pulled, flat, and hard. Robin Powell gets another 4.
This is an absolute carnage.
Am I allowed to say again that this is because Cars is bowling mindlessly too short?
Yes.
Yes. He doesn't know what length to bowl in a T20, and he gets smashed an awful lot in T20s.
Am I allowed to suggest that whatever length he bowls, he doesn't bowl that length again?
Well, he doesn't ever try and bowl, hardly ever seems to try and bowl Yorkers. Although I've seen him bowl intelligently and very full in test matches.
He doesn't bowl wide on the offside either.
No. No, well, he's bowled him with a Yorker.
He's bowled him full.
Should have said that
maybe
earlier.
Try that one a little bit more.
Yeah, that works.
It did work very well. Robin Powell finally gets out, and
The crowd says.
his stumps are splattered. Yeah, for some reason, sometimes
Now,
Cars
is
just
that
thinks
going to be everything? Oh no, it's a no ball!
Oh, for fuck's sake! It's another no ball.
He's just making sure that he has a really bad day out.
Idiot.
And it is not by much. Well, actually,
Why are we being shown a replay like it? I don't need to see that. The people with technology have already signalled
so
to the
no
umpire
ball,
that
6
it's a no
4
ball.
4 4 no ball. So we've actually only had what 3 balls in the over, 4 balls in the over. He's got another free hit.
It's a cracking ball, but no. Would it be any less of a cracking ball if he was an inch further back?
Yeah. Well, he's
That's
spooned
out.
that up.
Ooh.
No, he hasn't. Been caught. It's gone out to the man in the deep. They probably come back for 2. They do. 1 ball left in the 1 ball left in the match, and they require 40. A couple of more no balls, and he's bowled 2 in the over. And they need quite a lot of no balls, really, don't he? At least 6.
Yeah,
and they all need to be hit for 6. And they never get there.
It requires collusion on a grand scale.
Yeah.
Come on.
Not going to happen. Robin Powell, last ball. Just plays it up to mid-off. He's going to run for 1.
No, he's going to have a red inker, thank you very
He
much.
wants a red inker, and he gets a red inker. He ends up with 78 or 44. Well, 79 or 45, in fact. Well played, Robin Powell.
Well played.
Ended up 211 for 8. It must have been a complete batting paradise out there, it has to be said. 460 runs scored today in 40 overs. Outrageous. England win by 37 runs. It was always going to be a tough ask for the West Indies, and whilst they got close at the end, England didn't bowl too well at the end, and the game was done after about 10 or 11 overs, really. Middle order failed. And once Shy Hope was gone with Robin Powell, that was pretty much it. So England do get, men and women get whitewashes over the West Indies white ball sides in both sexes. 6-0 in ODIs and T20s.
You can only beat what's in front of you.
You can only beat what's in front of you. I did expect the West Indies to be a bit more competitive. They haven't really been.
In the T20s,
which
no.
has surprised me, actually.
There's only one match really that's been close in the men's games, which is the second ODI.
Yeah. When Root got his 160, didn't it? Other than that, England have pretty much romped the entire series. So that'll make them feel good, sets them up for the summer. They've got India coming up, back to white ball cricket. Stokes will be back out. But now we can put away the fucking white ball, thank God, for the next couple of months, because tomorrow we're back on and it's bloody Test cricket. Can't friggin' wait. It's the World Test Championship. South Africa versus Australia. We all think Australia are going to win, but we all want South Africa to win, I think.
Let it be.
Except for Messi, of course, who really wants Australia.
Don't let it be one-sided.
Well, that's what I fear. What I fear is that
I can't see it going more beyond 4 days.
I can't. Well, I agree with that. Not beyond 4, and I've got a horrible feeling if it's a bit muggy tomorrow, and Australia bowl, it wobbles around a lot. Yeah, I mean, what my fear is, and you mentioned it earlier, my fear is that South African batting just falls apart. And they end up being 96 for 6. And then they get maybe to 170 with some tail end blatting. But it just won't be enough. And then Steve fucking Smith will go and get 150.
Well, they've got lots of people who like to bat long.
Yeah, I'm hoping Marnus will fuck it up because he's opening.
The beauty of it all, though, is that the game's not played on paper.
No, that is true.
That's a different kind of cricket with dice.
Yeah.
Yes.
We did that during the lockdown. It was quite good fun in a weird way.
It was good fun, yeah.
Right, well, there's no point hanging around here. That was dull.
No, lots of just say the goodbyes from Kieran Roseblade, Omar Mavo, enjoyable as always. Joe's Ideas, who comes to us from Georgia in the USA. Robert Wilford Paul said that was just embarrassing. I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't put a wager on this team to win. Paul Strutton says, got away with murder against a very poor T20 side. We need a big improvement against good sides.
Just let them play who's in front of them.
And Eric J, to finish off, says, I think Australia should be able to hold out for almost 5 days. And with that, I think we're done.
I think we are.
Enjoy the first few days, and I will see you on day 4.
Coolio. I'll see you on the weekend. Until then, it's goodbye from us, and I shall play the theme tune, and we are out. Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we